Mama to reward you with a song?
Sure, why not?
I was just about to say, sure, why not?
And I dream of your love. You were sent from above, like a soft turtle dove. I wake to the touch of your lips. Your hands on my hips. My heart does backflips. Are you not hypnotized?
Actually, no, I don't care. I'm okay with either. Nemesis, Weskerthith, I don't care. I give me them both. Give them to me. Give both of them to me at the same time. It's a Wesker. It's a Wesker. Don't ain't no. You take that back, TM. Wesker is to me like Trickster is to you. Okay. How dare you? We didn't hold the Bubba, but we hold the Wesker.
Succubus spittle. The meat is charmed.
Harlep's been here. Oh my god. This just scared the shit out of me. I need to zoom in. Oh my god, this scared me so much. Oh my god.
Continues to leak.
I also am leaking.
Guts.
Hi. Am I muted? Okay, no, I think we're good. I think I'm okay. I always get like so disorientated starting after D&D because I'm just like, I know I'm forgetting something.
Pix Heart 1.
Oh
Pix
my
Heart 2.
god. Thank you for the 46 months. What the fudgies? Thank you for the 46 months. Enjoy your 90. Count them. Your 90 emotes, your ad-free view, and your sub veg. You forgot one of my ropes? You and your fucking ropes. God, I love that movie. I love it so much. Amaya. Mwah. Poe, thank you for the 105 stream streak and for redeeming Steal the VIP. Congratulations. The pink diamond is yours. For the whole weekend. Nutmeg, mwah, spades, mwah, spades first, nutmeg, not first, Gabby, mwah, thank you for the forehead kissy, Shabby, mwah, thank you for the forehead kissy. Happy weekend. Loki! Everyone say hello, spades, hello, Loki. Oh, those emotes are so cute, Poe, stop. Loki, mwah, thank you for the forehead kissy. Happy weekend! And what a weekend it has been. Kaya, mwah, thank you for the forehead kissy. One away from an angel number of kissies. Thank you so much for 46 months and a 105 stream streak. That is incredible. Oh, Rooster! Rooster, I missed your thingy. Mwah, mwah. I'm so sorry, Mr. Kissy. I'm the worst person ever. Happy weekend. What is everyone up to? How's everyone's day been? I did not get a lot of sleep last night. I only slept for 2 hours before I headed over to my before I had to wake up to head over to my sister-in-law's so we can go to Target, and it was worth it. It was so worth it because there was a big old line. So I'm glad I got there early, but I am a sleepy little girl. Also, Chloe, mwah, thank you for the forehead kissy. Hi, Kaya. How's your weekend been? Oh, so clean. Oh, she's so clean. Yay, they were so dirty. Holy moly. Also, I'm very proud of me for not canceling stream. Yay, because I really, really wanted to because I'm so tired. But Dungeons & Dragons was super fun. That it filled me with much happiness, much joy, much energy. Not a lot of energy, but happiness and joy that I think I can stream. Probably not for a long time. And we'll see. I'm going to try to do a little bit of Clear Obscure today because I didn't do any yesterday. I got 3 hours sleep before being woke up for no reason. Did your body just like wake up, or did something wake you up? New undies, yippee! Oh, that's lovely. We love comfy undies. Hi, gremlins. Mwah. Mr. Ware. Mwah. Think of the forehead kisses. Happy weekend, guys. Ugh, I have so much dopamine in and around me because of the stupid Pokemon release. Oh, is that a scratch? No, please don't be a scratch. Oh no. My dogs, Boo, knocked my glasses over earlier at like 5 a.m. this morning. And I think I have my very first scratch on these glasses. How sad. How sad. We almost had them a year. Almost a year. What's up, Dragon? Ooh, Kaya, I love that for you. I be here, Spades. Please get some rest if you can. I know, like, whenever I do, like, something social, it, like, wakes me up for a little bit, which is why I also couldn't sleep last night after stream, and I'm very sad about it, but it's alright. It's alright. We're here, and I'm gonna sleep when I'm dead. Sleep when you're dead. But I'll sleep tonight. That's fine. Also, boobies. Yeah. I've heard that one before. That one's a good one. Akuno! Thank you for the 3 stream streak. What the fudgies? I love the emote. Is it your emote? Also, I'm really sad for the scratches on my glasses because it is like right in my line of eyeballing. It's fine. I'll get used to it. I just don't want to get used to it. Didn't get much rest. Still fighting to recover. Stupid pair of drives.
Lizard.
That was so loud. Was that loud for anybody else? Oh, my headset is really high. Okay, that's why. Never mind. So life punished me by making that little "Are you sick?" comment. No! Num, are you okay? I'll probably play a game with you on my other monitor, at least for a couple hours. If I try to sleep now, I'll wake up at 2. Oh, yeah. Yeah. What time is it for you, Spades? I could... Why am I, like, blanking on what time zone you're in right now? Are we same time zone? Or am I dumb? We're same time zone, right? Yeah, okay. I thought we were, but now I'm just like... Then I was like, something made me question that. Okay. Alright, cool. Yeah. That's another reason for why I wanted to push to stream too, because I know that if I didn't stream, that I would sleep and that I also would wake up at like anywhere between midnight and 2 a.m. But Nam, I hope you feel better. Chloe, I hope you feel better too. I hope you get some good rest. Jordan, mwah, thank you for the forehead kisses. Go to work on your music. Do your thing, Chicken Wing. Thank you so much for getting your stream streak in. Also, Loki, thank you for the 700 stream streak. Jordan, thank you for the 5 stream streak. Rootsy, mwah, thank you for the forehead kisses. Everyone say, "Ewa, Rootsy." Everyone say anime mods. Your fever broke. Okay, so fever broke means you no longer have a fever anymore, right? That's what that means? Right? Me knows terminology. Yes? Yes, cool. Okay, awesome. Yippee! Also, if we see Bravo Penguin, we gotta remember to take a shot for her. Because I didn't take a shot for her yesterday because I'm a bad person. Although, if I had taken that extra shot before the end of stream, I bet I would have fallen asleep better. So I was thinking about that last night when I couldn't sleep. I'm just sitting on my couch and was like playing like some little like stupid phone game that I have and like trying to go to sleep. Watching TCM, obviously. Oh my god, Rootsy! Were you here yesterday when I was showing my YouTube history? And my YouTube history for the past couple months has just been Texas Chainsaw Massacre video game videos. I completely outed myself on stream. You were here for that? Yeah. You heard me saying that I want to play it with you still? I still want to play it with you. Only if you want to. YBZ! Mwah! Preston. Your father says hello. He has my sweater on him right now. Not like on him, but like thrown on him. He's holding it for me. Yes. After your Baldur's Gate shenanigans, though, I'll be patient. Happy again. What's up, Mama J? Mama J, mwah. Thank you for the forehead kissy. I was cold all day, hence the sweater, because I knew I'd be waiting in line outside, and it was like 40 degrees, and so I made sure to wear the sweater. Also, because I wanted to make sure that no one thought I was a scalper, and so I made sure to wear like Pokemon merch so people knew that I was a fan and not a scalper, because people suck. So I don't know if you guys have been like keeping up with like the Pokemon craziness, but almost every single thing, if not every single thing that was offered in the Pokemon Target collab has been scalped for eBay. Like all these things are on like eBay and Facebook Marketplace. It's all over my Twitter feed and this Discord group I'm in, and I think the worst part of it is that people are reselling the free pins that you got at the door. So they gave us free, Target was handing out free pins of like Squirtle, Charmander, and Bulbasaur. And people are selling these pins for like $30 each or like $60 for all three. And it's so sad, It's sad that you got this for free and you're selling them for like a $60 profit, which is really sad, but it is what it is. People are desperate, I guess. He's staying warm. That's so cute. Mama J, did I give you a kissy? Mwah. I'm watching Welcome to Demon School, and there's a character named Soy Person, and they're good at standing in the background and being invisible. Really? Interesting. Is that like a Spanish thing? I may or may not have been playing it all day, as you should. How far are you? I guess that's a really weird question to ask. Where are you right now? Like, do you know, like, where you are? Scalpers say F you. Yeah, I say F you, scalpers. Hi, Rock Dude couldn't go to the Target release, and I feel bad. You did, but I'll never be mad about bonus kissies. Oh, little God. Mwah. Think of the forehead kissy. I got Target Hall too, did you? What did you get? Oh, good, what did you get? Post it in the Discord if you want. You don't have to. I want to know. Attempting to kill these motherfucking goblins to find Halsin. I think in my very first playthrough, Rootsy, I'm pretty sure I never found Halsin. I'm pretty sure I never found him. And you need... No, I'm not going to say anything. Nope. Nothing. Nope, because I'm pretty sure that's kind of spoilery. Yeah, I never found Halsin, and I never freed him. Oh! Spades, that makes me feel so much better. Because, yeah, in my first playthrough, I never found him. And remember how I never found Astarion, and you guys actually had to teach me where to find Astarion? Because I didn't know where he was. So I had Gale, Shadowheart, and Lae'zel in my party. And people have been talking about Astarion. I was like, where's Astarion? And people are like, you didn't get him yet? And I was like, no. And people had to walk me back to find Astarion. So that was funny. Yeah. I didn't get Karlach my first playthrough. I think I did. It's on my YouTube channel. I could go back and look. 5 times now. Are you in the easiest difficulty? I hope you are. Am I gonna butcher this? Ochimai. Am I saying your name right? I am so sorry. Welcome, band readers! What's up, Lady Charlie? Okimai. Akimai? I am so sorry, Angel. Oh, also, Lady Charlie, fun fact, my dog's name is Charlie. This one right here. Hi, Charlie! Okay. Hi, Auntie Naomi. You're unbalanced? I would do Explorer, you freak. That's right, if you like a challenge. I definitely did Explorer in my first playthrough. Attempting with Will instead of Astarion, but he is very weak right now. Yeah, Will sucks in the beginning. Just search the plus size. Oh, hi! Oh my god, wearing my plus size crop top from Pokemon Center. Welcome in. Oh my god, thank you guys so much for the raid. What were you up to? Also, did I end up saying your name right? Okimai? Also, Charlie is laying his head on my leg right now. It's so cute. Also, thank you guys so much for the follows. I do have anonymous follows on, but I see you. And I appreciate you. Welcome in. Hades! People are trying to get me to play Hades. But I'm not a good listener. Eventually. Yeah, see, Mama J's one of them. Thank you so much for the follows. Welcome in. Also, I see a treats. Also, Panda Monster. Mwah. Rin. Mwah. All good. Did I do a kissy for you? All good. Mwah. Oni. Mwah. Thank you for the forehead kissies. I'm assuming dog treats, right? Now, Charlie, you have refused to eat these treats. For some reason, you're a fickle bitch. Are you gonna eat this? Eat it? Why doesn't he like this? These are like bacon strips. Blue Buffalo Sizzlers. But you know who will eat it? Boo. Boo will eat it. I'm gonna have to get different treats because Charlie needs treats. Oh, he likes the cat treats. Electric Panther! Meow. Thank you for the 1 year. You're a pickle bitch. Shut the fuck up. Here, do you want a cat treat? Oh, you're so good. Here, you can have another cat treat. There you go. So wet. I've never played Hades. Was this your first time playing, or are you big fan? Oh, we're doing Penis of the Days already?
Just starting out.
What is happening? Guys, thank you guys so much for the raid. You posted your haul already? Ah! Oh, good. I can't wait to see it. Who's got a penis of the day? Who's got the biggest schlong? Call me Rogue, 59 inches. Anybody bigger? Anyone with a bigger hog? Bravo Penguin! Mwah. Everyone say hello, princess. I can take my shot now. Chrissy, mwah. Schmack. Thank you so much for the Prime sub for 2 months. Enjoy your 90. Count them. Your 90 emotes, your ad-free viewing, and your sub badge. Electric Panther just subscribed for a year, which means they get a Pokemon card to go in my binder. Oh. What's happening? Thank you for the follows! Guys, thank you so much for the follows. I have anonymous follows on, but I do see all the follows that come in, and I really appreciate you. Wait, who's got the biggest schlong? 65 inches. Shut up. Swing, swing. Holy moly. All right. What is happening? Hello, God? What is happening? What's up, Lunette? Lunette a star. Am I saying that right? Welcome in, welcome in. All right, let me catch up. Let me catch up in mustard. There's a lot of peepees in the chat. But who's got the biggest schlong? Who's got the big one? 65. Panda Monster is in the lead with 65 peepees. Came in. Mwah. Bravo Penguin, thank you for the 3 stream streak. Schmack. Mwah. Chrissy. Mwah. Bravo Penguin. Mwah. Mystic Simba. Mwah. Electric Panther. Mwah. Thank you guys so much for the forehead kisses. Holy. 4% vibe. Reroll it. Alright, I'm gonna do a Pokemon card. Because anytime someone resubscribes for a year anniversary, whether it's 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, etc., they get a special Pokemon card to go in my spank bank binder. Oh, it's really heavy. So these are all my 1 years. The water Pokemons are all, oh my god, there's so many. Look, look, look. There's so many. These are all my 1 year. Oh my god, it just keeps going. And then electric is 2 years. If it's a reverse holo, they're a tier 2 resub. If it's a holographic, it's a tier 3 resub. And then year 3s are fire cards. Year 4 is fighting. And then year 5 is psychic. Yippee! Wars? No, War doesn't do it. No. Oh, Jasper, you knocked over all my Target shit. Also, I have 3 cats and 2 dogs. And I have a cat. His name is Jasper. He's an asshole. Does anybody want him? Taking bets. But also, raiders, if you need to go raid and run, please make sure to do so. Thank you guys so much for the raid. What the heck? I hope you had the best time playing Hades. But, Okimai, I really hope I'm saying your name right. Please get your post-stream self-care. Get your post-stream stretchies, bathroom breaks, namis, and bevies. Go Ika, Pika, Puka, stretch, go drink. Let me get Electric Panther's Pokemon card, and I'm going to catch up in mustard. Electric Panther underscore. Okay, cool. Underscore. Electric. Wookie, wookie, wookie. Panther. Meow. Meow. For 1 year. I keep forgetting to get a new permanent marker. You get a new page! That's my butt. Go away. Go away. Hi, Kels! Oh, Kels, thank you. Thank you for the titties! Electric Panther, you are a Volcanian. Volcanian. I don't know who that is. Titties! Thank you so much for the 1 year resub. That is so crazy. Thank you guys so much. Also, Supernova, mwah, Soul Parrot, mwah, Danny, mwah, Cool Cam, mwah. Thank you guys so much for the 400 kisses. Aww. Cows, you're so good. W resub, huge raid, huge biddies. Hi, Jinx! Jinx, how you doing today? Electra Panther, are you kidding me? Thank you. What is happening? Bravo, what did you want me to drink? Was it tequila? Or did I never ask you? Was I a bad streamer? I never even asked you? Volcanic, fire, water type. Oh, is that what he is? Because I was surprised that he was in the water section because I thought he was fire. Oh yeah, happy free comic book day. Did anybody go get comics? I know Shadowhawk did. Oh, poor babies. Yeah, give them lots of love. Give them a little for me. Give them a little for me. Pain. Mwah. Think of the forehead kissy. Comics and then some. Hell yeah. I just went to Target. So, if you guys are new here, welcome in. We're going to be doing, I'm going to show up. Jasper, stop, you little French toast stick. I'm going to show off some stuff I got from the Target Pokemon collab today. I went to 2 Targets, and yeah, and then we're going to do my first playthrough of Claire Obscure Expedition 33. You're at work though. Okay, I'm glad you're at work because I feel like if you had missed today, you would have like really beat yourself up about it. I'm sad that you're still sick though. So even thinking about liquor makes you feel yeah. Well then I'll drink something nice. How about that? Like Malort. Freya, I'm doing all right. I'm very, very sleepy. I did not get a lot of sleep today. I've wanted to play DBD, but have experienced the toxic community and then some. Oh, with DBD. Schmack. Schmack. I love saying your name. I'm so sorry. That sucks. I'm so sorry that you've had that experience. That's ass. I hate that for you. Dragon. Mwah. Thank you for the forehead kiss. I hope you guys are doing so good. Did anybody else do free comic book day? It is a sleepy day, isn't it? In my personal life, aware of how mad I was, I had to call out. Yeah. Yeah, I understand. Wait, Lunette, why? What do you want to change it to? I like your name, but I mean, I'm sure whatever you pick will be beautiful. I'm heavy multitasking. What are you working on? Na 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 na. 6 feet deep. Oh, and we do have drops on too. So I'm not currently playing Claire Obscure right now, but I'm in the Claire Obscure category. So if you, oh, we're blurry. Sorry, I didn't notice. However long that's been blurry. Sorry. So if you subscribe or gift a sub, you get a Expedition 33 Twitch sub badge. I think that goes until like next week. Panda Pan. Oh, I'm so sorry. You don't, Cool Cam. I hate that for you. Stella Ilara, Star Jupiter, Faye Starla, Athena Circle, Venus Hazel for first names. Yeah, those are all fantastic. You can't go wrong with any of those. Why is that getting here and picks to take a shot of Malort? Don't worry about it, Panda Pan. Got some free comics. Also picked up some Smoke Second bunch for my birthday. Wait, when's your birthday? Ugh, I'm so jealous you got Pokemon cards. I'm so peanut butter and jealous. What sets did you get? Panda Pan, mwah, Japan, mwah. Thank you for the forehead kissy. 68 inches! Mega Dunger. So you are our penis of the day rogue. What can I say? That's awesome. All right, I'm gonna take this shot. Don't look, Bravo Penguin, don't look. Yummy. I forgot to do my G Fuel, so I don't really have a chaser. Finally finished my Snapple. that's like a 3-day-old Snapple. Wait, when's your affiliate anniversary? Cheers! Yeah. Oh my god. Shut up. May 20th is your birthday. And you got Perfect Order, a pack of Destined Rivals, and a Mega Dream Pack. What's a Mega Dream Pack? Oh, I'm so peanut butter and jealous. Oh, Jinx, I'm sorry. Was I supposed to wait for you? If I've missed anyone's messages, it's because I don't know how to read. I dropped out of college. Hi, Rar Raven! Everyone say hello to Rar Raven. It's Rar Raven's birthday tomorrow. Tee! So everyone has to say happy birthday to Rar Raven right now. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rar Raven. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Rar Raven. I know it's tomorrow, but I'm not streaming tomorrow, so I can't sing to you tomorrow. Happy unbirthday. Dangos. Mwah. Think with the forehead kissing. And if you guys are in the Discord, make sure to say happy birthday to her tomorrow. In the Discord. What's up, KK? KK, happy weekend. What's up? Yep. I hope you guys are doing so good. Shut up. Japanese ascended hero. Shut the front door. Wait, did you open them yet, Dragon? Dako! You're so cute, Raven. Well, did you do anything special today? Are you gonna do, you said dinner tomorrow, right? Maybe? Maybe, baby? Alright. Let's pick a G Fuel flavor and then let's start opening up some Pokemon. What do you guys think? Oh, not opening, but showing you guys. Look at me, I'm trying to open up Pokemon cards. I was informed I could use this command as well, teehee. Wait, what command? The good You are so funny. Yeah. Call me Rogue still has the biggest pee-pee of the day. Kids come home tomorrow. Is that a good thing or bad thing? Hi, Remy. Benny. Remy. Mwah. Thank you for the forehead kissy. Benny. Thank you so much for the raid. What were you doing? Everybody go follow Remy. Benny! Sorry, I was reading Remy and I said Betty, but hey, everyone go follow Remy too. But Benny, thank you so much for the raid! What were you doing? Also, Benny! To go with the forehead kissy! What were you up to? Happy weekend! Welcome in, Raiders! I'm just about to pick a G Fuel flavor, and then I'm gonna show you guys a bunch of stuff I got from Target. I literally have been saving up for this for a month. I chose to not get a tattoo. And I really want a tattoo. I really want a tattoo. I chose to not get a tattoo so I could spend all of my like excess money on the Pokemon thing. Wait, is someone upset that I've missed a message? Hold on. If you're upset that I've missed a message, raise your hand now because someone just posted something in my mod chat and I want you to oust yourself. Try my best to stockpile Pokemon cards, but I'm starting to get the itch. Oh, so you're saving them, so you haven't ripped them yet from getting a snack. Cause they would be, yes, Panda Monster. Call Me Rogue has 68 inches, so the only bigger PP that you can get is 69 inches. What at me? I just got here. No. No way, Panda! Panda Monster just stole it. Panda Monster officially has the biggest peepee. Thank you, Spades. Thank you, mods. I'm gonna see if this person's still in chat. It's like, I understand, like, how much it sucks that someone misses a message, but, like, don't say what you said in chat, because that's so rude. Because I'm doing my best. How many people are here right now? There's 66 people in here right now. I'm trying my best, right? Please don't make me feel like shit for missing a message. Because you guys know I never purposely miss messages. So, thank you, mods, for putting that message in there. So now I'm aware that this person said that, because that's really shitty, and you shouldn't make me feel badly. Especially since, like, I don't know, this is really shitty, so. Heck you guys. Well, not you guys, just that one person. I'm gonna pick a G Fuel flavor, and I was gonna have you guys pick for me, but now I'm mad, so now I'm gonna pick my own flavor. I'm just kidding. Guys, do you want to pick a flavor for me? You're feeling 100% bratty. Shut up. Kaven. Oh my god. Oh. Thank you, mods. Thank you. Fruit punch. I do love a slutty little fruit punch. Also, hi, Music Kid. I feel bad for you. Why do you feel bad for me? What happened, Remy? Man! Mwah. Ellie. Mwah. Thank you for the forehead kissy. Not just rude, but hella brings down the vibe. Yeah! It's so mean. It's so mean. Like, I don't know. I don't know what flavors you have. Ugh, all of them. All of them. Music Kid, long time no see. The person being rude. Oh, thanks, Remy. And it's fine. It's just, like, why are you trying to make someone feel guilty? Like, I don't know. When I'm literally, like, doing my breast. I'm trying to thank everyone for all of the resubs. We got 2 raids in 30 minutes. 2 raids. I'm trying to get forehead kisses for everybody. I'm trying to... Did that post twice? Or am I drunk? Huh? Here. Delete them both. There you go. I'm trying to do the special Pokemon card. I don't know. I'm just trying to... I'm trying to give everyone their flowers for being here and saying hello. But, I don't know. It's so easy to just, like, repeat your message if I miss you. But to make me feel guilty just makes me feel like shit and makes me, I don't know. It makes I remember that, you know. Returning to trying to return streaming after a long hiatus. 4 years. Wait, was your affiliate anniversary last weekend? Benny, happy affiliate anniversary! I'm so proud of you, Benny. That's not easy to come back. It's not easy to come back after such a long break. So I'm really heckin' proud of you, Benny. Wait, did you tell me what you were playing? I don't remember. All the blue containers mixed together. Ugh. Sounds like a lot of work. Once the sword is unsheathed, wait. Brave Fencer Musashi. What is that? What's Dreambot do? What did Streambot do? Are you talking about your big heckin' hog, Panda Monster? Oh, Chloe, hugs. Hugs for anybody who needs it. But if you guys don't want the hug, you guys can double it and give it to the next person. I don't know G Fuel flavors. That's all right. All right, let's pick one. I don't know if I have, a fruit punch. Oh, you know what? I shouldn't leave my desk with this open because I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna like knock it over or something. Oh, hello, lovely. Oh, you know what? This is kind of close to fruit punch, isn't it? Is it? Wait, I never had this one. Oh, it's not a new formula. I'm really like such a stickler. I want a new formula now. Alright, Tetris Blast. Tetris Blast has fruit in it, so we're gonna do that. Oh, thank you. Like, I cannot stress enough. I lose sleep. And I stress whenever I miss a message or a forehead kissy. And I literally stress about it. So it really, I don't know. So that's why I'm like, ugh. Yeah. Shadowhawk, did you post your haul of your free comic books yet? I haven't checked Discord yet. Miami Nights is pretty close to being Fruit Punch too. I don't know if I have a 2.0 of that. Late 90s Square Enix adventure. Oh, really? Is it an Ubisoft game? Oh, okay, Panda Pan. Oh, Chloe, I hope you feel better, Angel. You did? I can't wait to see it. No. I'm definitely not the best. I feel bad. Like, I do feel bad. And so, like, mission accomplished, right? I do feel guilty. But, I don't know. There's nicer ways to go about it. Did you go to Costco and got your tequila? Hell yeah. That emote is so cute, bro. What the hecky? Spades, I love you moist. Good shout. Are you doing DBD right now, Spades? Oh, also, Benny, don't make me keep you. If you guys need to go right and run, please get your post-stream self-care. Get your post-stream stretchies, bathroom breaks, namis, and bevies. Go eat, go peek, go poo, go stretch, go drink. Oh, you got food? Oh. Did you get a Costco hot dog? Did you really? And you got rings for each other? Oh my god. Can I see them? Chatbot, chat commands, goffle of the day. Ugh. What I wouldn't do for more Tetris Blast in and around my life. Oi, Jamoy. Oh, please get your lurk on, Benny. I'm about to show off my Target Pokemon haul. They're so good. The Costco hot dogs slap. Sam's Club pizza, I've never had that. It's a fidget spring. Oh, that makes me so happy. Hi, True Shinobi. That emote is so cute. Thank you for the 30th stream streak, by the way. Again, I feel like I've missed messages again. Shinobi. Mwah. Thank you for the forehead kissy. Oh, no. Oh, Spades. No. You're so Gucci. I was just curious what you were playing. Making conversation. All right. I'm gonna start showing you guys. So today was the Target X Pokemon release on the website, and I even wore my 30th anniversary sweater from Pokemon Center because I wanted people to know that I wasn't a scalper, even though I was there at opening. So I wore this so people knew, like, alright, she's a fan, she's not a scalper.
Hello.
Oh, hello, thank you for the follow! I have anonymous follows on, but I see you, and I appreciate you. Welcome in. Oh, thank you, Loki. I'm trying. Oh, I only saw the message once, but I may have missed it. Noobs are coming. Rotato. Roguelite shooter type game that got me through. Oh, I love that for you. When was the last time you played your Jurassic Park game? So I can't even eat a Costco hot dog. Really? I've never had that issue. I can slam that dog. Easy. Wait, Sushi Guy! Shut the front door! George, don't listen to him. He's a liar. But thank you so much for the follow. That's awesome. Is he live right now? I'm gonna have to try one next time I go there. Wait, the Costco hot dog? You have to go. Wait, clip! Wait, what? Why are you clipping? Oh, Twitch hung up on me. Shut the front door. That's so funny. Yes, he is! What's his, these are so cute. Shut the front door. And yours is a fidget? Oh, look at you holding hands. Awkward hand holding. You could have made it worse, Raven. You could have put them on your toes, and you could have had, toe hugs. Have you guys seen that? There he is, the little devil. Everyone go tell Sushi Guy how hot and tall and talented and handsome he is. I'm assuming cat treats, but okay, Jasper, there we go. SC dog. Oh, Sam's Club. Wait, Sam's Club has a hot dog? They're coming for Costco's Marken. That made me gag. Try it. Try it and let me know how it is. Also, Sushi Guy. Mwah. Thank you for the forehead kiss. Oh. He hasn't bitten me yet. 2 out of 3, he hasn't bitten me. Alright, well, at least he uses baby teeth when he bit me there. He keeps using his sharp teeth because he misses it. I never heard the hot dogs. I don't think I've ever been in a Sam's Club before, so. Oh, actually, I think once when I was a kid. Yeah. Anyways. Shut up, Rooster! Mods, ban Rooster. I'm not joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. Alright. I'm finally going to show you guys my Pokemon stuff. Are you guys ready? I'm going to start with my biggest ticket item. Are you ready? I got the keyboard! So, at our first Target, I went with my sister-in-law. And she was number 8 in line, and I was number 9 in line. And so we were first 10 people. It does kind of look like Legos, doesn't it? Hi, Peanut. Peanut, happy weekend. Oh, Panda Pan, you were so cute. I made some basil tomato pasta. Oh, Chloe, but it'll be good leftovers for when you feel better, right? Hopefully. Hopefully. Yeah, it does probably look like Legos, especially from far. Here. So this is a wireless keyboard. It was only $40. I know, like, that's a lot of money, but for a keyboard, I don't expect this to be good. I just really, really wanted it because I really wanted it. And you know what's disgusting is that I checked eBay and people are already reselling this for like $100 plus. It's disgusting. And when I went to the store, there was only one left on the shelf when I went there, and there was like a bunch of people around and no one was grabbing it. So I was like, I grabbed it. I was like, you're coming home with me. But the buttons are super cute. There's like a little like volume button with a Pokeball up here. There's like different starters here, and then I think here too. But should I open it? Wait, let's open it. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited I waited for you guys. Unboxing stream! It totally does look like Legos. That's so funny. But it's a wireless keyboard. All of the function buttons are all different Pokeballs. Shut the front door. Oh, it's kind of like a buttery, as opposed to mine, which is a clicky clacky. Holy, I wonder, because it's translucent, I wonder if it lights up. How cool is that? Okay, we have to twist this. Uh-oh, twisty. Holy, look, I love the function buttons, how they're all different Pokeballs. That's so cute. Hi, Cookie! I got this from Target. So cute. Can I turn this on? There's the wireless dongle. Oh, here. Oh, it's dead. It's dead. But it lit up for 1 second. Hold on. We'll do it again. Oh. Okay, it's about to die. But it lights up. No way. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, that's so exciting. Is there a charging cable? Oh, there is. Okay. Let me see if I can charge it. Oh, I don't think I have any USB ports available. Hold on. Because that light up thing was so cool. So, this was in stores only today. They're going to be online starting tomorrow. At like 8 a.m. Central. The way I ran to my keyboard so you can say, Dongo! That's so funny. Oh, Chloe. Well, at least you have it for when you feel better, though. Enjoy your lurk. Let me see if I can plug this in down here. Hold on.
Jasper, can you get out of my way? Thank you.
Plug it. Okay. Is it charging? Yes. Okay. Cool. So I'm gonna let that charge for a little bit. Maximus, mwah. Thank you for the forehead kissy. Alright, so that's the first thing that we got. I'm going to show you guys the second thing because it's carrying a bunch of other stuff. So, they were going to be selling kickballs, and you guys heard me talk about how I really wanted the Master Ball kickball. But I think they moved the release date of the kickballs to June because I didn't see any kickballs. Oh, and these are the pins that they were giving away for free at the door. I thought that we were only going to be getting one. Like, because I saw that they were going to be giving away pins, and I was like, okay, well, if I want a pin, I'm going to want Charmander, because Charmander's the best. And when we got there, they said, okay, pick one of each. I was like, what? Thank you so much for clipping that, Rooster. What the fudgies? Also, Newsday, mwah, Duncan, mwah. Thank you for the forehead kisses. So these are the free pins. These are the pins that they're selling for like $30 each on eBay and like $60 on eBay. And these were free. Squirtle's my second favorite. I don't have anything against Bulbasaur, but like, if I had to choose, This is the order. First, second, third. That's the order. If I had to choose. Oh, you guys are gonna love this. This was not on my shopping list, but when I saw them in store, I had to get them. They're Butterfree hair clips, and they're metal. What's this made out of? Metal. But yeah, this was not on my shopping list. I had already made a shopping list of all the things I wanted, and this was not on my list. And these are so cute. I saw them in store, and I said, yes, I want them. Hi, Crazy happy weekend. You will enjoy it later. And you'll be so happy that you have that when you have your appetite back. Oh my god. I'm so excited for all of this stuff. You guys have no idea. The amount of dopamine that I have. Would I have been happier with the tattoo? That remains to be seen. But I chose this over a tattoo. Otaku. Mwah. Thank you for the forehead kissy. Now, there was only one left of this at the first store that we went to. And so we went to another Target afterwards that was opening an hour later. And I was able to get one too because I let my sister-in-law get the first one because I was buying so much crap. And so I let her get the first one. And then when we went to the second location, they had more of the lip smackers. And we opened up my sister-in-law's at her house and we smelled each of them. The Pikachu smells the best. It's like a lemon scent. And then the second best, I think, is the Squirtle. It's like a berry, like cotton candy scent. And I think the third best might be the Mew, which is like a minty one. They're so cute. Please leave the keyboard alone, honey. But yeah, it's lip smackers, and they're so cute. You have to see the tops of them. Like this entire release is like so perfectly 90s nostalgia. Like, look at how obnoxious the designs these lip smackers are. So they have the classic lip smacker, but they have like a little gem. Each one has a little gem on the top. So it's so perfectly 90s, millennial everything. And it's, I don't know. It's so perfectly millennial, and I love it so much. Oh, all good. After this, I want to see what you got too. I'm gonna check your haul. I cannot wait to see it. I know a lot of people really wanted the Kanto Windbreaker. It's hideous to me, but to each their own. I thought it was hideous. But again, so perfectly 90s. And apparently, like, only some stores got it. And the stores that did get it, some of them only had, like, one of each size. And people were buying them. It was $140. And people are reselling it on eBay for, like, $300. It's like, cheese and rice. I saw there's like a TikTok video of like people were fighting over the jackets. It was like, chill. Yeah, the buttery keyboard's so nice. It's charging right now. No way, all good. So you just like happened to come across it. I love that for you. These were also on my shopping list. So these were stickers, holographic sticker set, and these are the Eeveelutions, and then Mewtwo, Charizard, and Gyarados. Oh, and Mewtwo. Mew, comma, 2. Kanto Tally love it. I don't get it. Oh, no, I don't get it. Oh, you got the bubble stickers? Me too! The puffy ones, right? These, they have the different Pokeballs. Ditto, Snorlax, Meowth, Psyduck, Magikarp, and Jigglypuff. Yeah, this is on my list too. I wanted all the stickers. Because you guys know, I love stickers, and I've actually been using my new sticker book. I've been adding more stickers to that. There were these vinyl stickers that have all of the starters. So, fun fact, when I added these to my wish list on, like, my shopping list on my Target app, I didn't know what Pokemon were in there. I just saw stickers, and I was like, I want them. Oh, it was Totally. Okay, that's what I thought, but I was like, oh, am I stupid? Just that. Nail art tattoos. I don't know when I'll ever do nail art or if I'll use these specifically for nail art, but I really wanted them. And I guess there's 2 sheets of them. There's like regular colored ones, and then there's like in the back you can kind of see through the window. There's like this like black and gold colored ones, but they're so pretty. And then these are temporary tattoos. And again, they have like a colored sheet in the front, and then they have like a black and white one in the back of like some Eeveelutions. So I did get a tattoo. Has a 4-item limit. So yeah, the limits were 4 per SKU. Yeah. So you could only get like 4 of these or 4 of these, etc. And then these were actually something that are super nostalgic to me. And these are something that my brother and I had as kids. They were like glow in the dark wall stickers, but they're like, I think they're like some sort of like acrylic. And my brother and I used to have these in our shared room in our apartment. And I got a pack because these are so dope. And you know what? I might put these in my bedroom or something. Or maybe I'll put them here. Somewhere where like they'll get glow in the dark. But I just think they're so perfectly nostalgic. I used to have them as I was a kid. I actually think I still have a couple left over from when I was a kid. But yeah, that was those. Excuse me, Muffin Top.
Go away.
I'm so excited for the lip smackers. I'm gonna have one of those in each and every room. Move. 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 Move! Jasper, you're such a bitch. He's literally the worst. Oh, that's Jasper. Yeah, he's being such a brat. He's trying to get to the keyboard for some reason. Like, I don't know what his infatuation is with the keyboard. I have a cherry red switch keyboard aside, and those supposed to be less clicking, noisy after linear, and even the red bothers me. Oh, wait, is it the red color or the sound? The event we went to today also had a vendor that sells these 3D printed figures, and they had these ones that were meant to go against windows, and I just shut the front door. I know I haven't seen those 3D printed figures, but I know exactly what art you're talking about. Like the Charmander. I love that art so much. Them squishing their face against the wall. I've been seeing a lot of those. Can you go away, Bubby? That is so cute. Did you get any? Okay, so this is kind of crazy. They had this display for the mystery water type water bottles, and the second Target that I went to was completely cleaned out. And there were like 5 of these empty boxes, and I thought these were so cute that I asked if I could keep one, and they said yes. A Nutty Balls! Thank you for gifting a sub to Hybrid. Hybrid, enjoy your 90, count him, your 90 emotes, your ad-free view, and your sub badge, and Anonymous, enjoy your Twitch badge. Hey, do you guys mind if I change my shirt really quickly? I'm getting really hot. I think this shot made me like super hot. Do you guys mind if I like be right back really quickly? I'm gonna be right back. Do you guys mind? Yeah, you are. Shut up. Whatever. I'll be right back. Like 2 seconds. Grim. I'm gonna assume pain res as well. And I'm assuming that was Blood Favor, maybe? I don't know. No, it wasn't Blood Favor. What was that? Okay, I'm gonna heal you, because I have Botany. Oh, is this? Oh, thank you. I can't wait to mess this up. Alright, that's their second stack of Grim. I'm gonna go for the save, I think. Oh, Birkin, thank you. I could not remember his name. Oh, please pick towards me. Please pick towards me. Please, 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 please. I didn't have a beam. I forgot I had the flashbang. Ah! That's what you get for giving me that's right, redemption. Thank God for redemption. Oh my God. Oh, a deli. Oh, purr. Okay. Something. Oh no. Do we hold him? Ah, thanks, guys. I was just really hot. And it's funny, I was freezing all day. Quick change! I'm recording a YouTube video right now for this unboxing, and people are gonna get so confused. It's like, why is she wearing a different shirt now? And he asked me to clip Bible one, and he didn't. Oh, what? Did you rip? Raven, what the fudgies? What the fudgies? Oh! We're gonna do a prediction. Do you guys mind? I really want to do a prediction. So, they have these mystery water-type Pokemon bottles. I recorded an unboxing of this at my sister-in-law's. And, so there's one of 6 water bottles that these can be. Magikarp, Slowpoke, Squirtle. Totodile, Psyduck, and Gyarados. And this was the first one that I got. He's Slowpoke! But look. But like, look at how perfectly adorable he is. And it's got like this hard top. I saw online that someone was saying that they totally missed the opportunity to make these like Pokeball designed because, I mean, the shape is right there. So I agree. I totally agree with that. But this is so cute. And it's just like a perfect water bottle. I actually might have this on my treadmill and keep it as like a little workout bottle. But I want to do a prediction and I want to do an unboxing of the second one here. Again, another one that like people are selling for like, so this is $10. They're selling it for like $30 on eBay. It's disgusting. All right, so I want to open up this. But I want you guys to do a prediction. The second one's going to be Squirtle. Okay, hold on. Hold on. I want you guys to guess. All right, start prediction. What Poke bottle will it be? Totodile, Squirtle, Psyduck, Slowpoke, or Magikarp, Gyarados. We'll do that for 2 minutes. 2 minutes. I should have been some sort of design on the top. All right, so you guys guess. What do you guys think is going to be the second one? See, Gremlin, see, you guys are coming up with all these great ideas that Pokemon should have done. In the meantime, they had 4 different tumblers. I'm trying to remember what were the other options. Oh, Snorlax. It was Pikachu, Arcanine, Snorlax. I can't remember the other one. Also, Sami Magic. Ah, they were the forehead kissy. No, that's totally fine, Raven. That's totally fine. I did pick up the Pikachu purely for nostalgia, because I was only going to get one. I was just going to get Arcanine, because Arcanine was the coolest out of the 4 that I saw. But I got the Pikachu one just for pure nostalgia's sake. I already opened up the Arcanine one. Did I? I already opened up the Pikachu one. I thought I opened up the Arcanine. Sunny! Mwah. Thank you for the forehead kissy. Also, Zombie, thank you so much for the stream streak. I hope you're doing so good. Did you stream today? If you did, I missed it because I'm a bad friend. Oh, so it is like a plastic, but it's like a thick plastic. Also, I do like how it's not really like flared. It's more like an up and down cup. But isn't this so perfectly 90s nostalgia? Oh, it's so pretty. So, I don't know. I like having glasses in like my bathrooms and my sinks and everything like that. So, I just think it's so perfect. Water bottle. Water Pokemon. Your good friend stopping me yourself and I'll compliment you. Don't you dare compliment me. If you know better. Don't you dare ever compliment me. All right, what's the prediction looking like? 13% think it's going to be Totodile Squirtle. 50% think it's going to be a Psyduck or Slowpoke. And 38% think it's going to be Magikarp Gyarados. I really hope it's not another Slowpoke, because that's what I already have in the other one. But let's see. Sweetie, mwah. Thank you for the forehead kissy. Oh, really? Spades. That's something I would do, though, because I have so many glasses. Shut up, Panda Pan thought it too. What I hope for Totodile. I really want a Totodile or a Squirtle. I'm gonna say my vote is for a Totodile Squirtle. Sorry, this is like really glued in. I'm trying not to like destroy it like I did in my other one, because I like the boxes. Applause. You think Gyarados? Jade? Mwah. Sweetie. Mwah. Think of the forehead kisses. You want Psyduck? I want anything that's not Slowpoke, because I already have Slowpoke. Sorry, this is... Oh, you guys are probably getting like triggered with how like I'm opening this box. You voted for Psyduck. Okay. I'll take a Psyduck. You're gonna go with Eevee? See, I was hoping there'd be more Eeveelution stuff, but there's gonna be another release in June, and I'm wondering if there's gonna be more Eeveelution stuff in June. Alright. Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? Are we happy with it? Please tell me it's not another Slowpoke. It's a Squirtle! Yes! Oh! Oh! Oh, yippee! Oh! So cute! Oh, I know. Aren't we excited? What do we think? Oh, it's Jasper's now. 13% won, by the way. Big win! Yes! I love Squirrel. Shut up. I'm so happy. I just got lipstick on it. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm not gonna lie. I would have been happy with literally anything as long as it wasn't. Slowpoke, because I already had it. Jasper, you can't sit in that box. You're so cute. You can have it when I'm done. Okay. And then here's the display box again. So this was what the water bottles were in. Is that how much you won, Zombie? Damn. Let's go gambling. Holy. I also got count them, 2 keycaps. One for me, and I was thinking one I wanted to do as a giveaway. Because I thought these would be super cute, and I thought everyone has, like, keyboards and stuff like that. So I figured one for me and one for a giveaway. Now, it does say it's compatible with the Pokemon Wireless backlit membrane keyboard, not compatible with mechanical, MX optical, scissor switch, low profile keyboards, or larger keys. Example, space, shift, enter. So, probably won't fit a lot, but to be fair, it's just really be cute just to have regardless. So I got one for me and one for a giveaway. And then these. Oh no, this is not the last stuff. Guys, I know, I have a problem. Move, Jasper. Let's put these back in their home. So, these were also on my list. Again, I was not going to get all of them, but when you're there and it's a madhouse and everyone's grabbing... Actually, I'm not going to lie, the 2 Targets that I went to, everyone was being really nice. There were a couple scalpers there that were, like, very loudly bragging that they were going to be selling the pins that we got. It was kind of gross, and it was like, this guy was like so loudly bragging that he's like, yeah, I'm hitting like this, and this target, so I get as many pins as I can. And it was like, ugh, no one likes you here, but whatever. But besides that, my experiences at the 2 Targets were actually really nice. They did have these hair and body fragrance mist, and they come in these little things like this. They have the cutest little charms on them, and each one has a different charm correlating to like what Pokemon is featured. So like the electric charm for the Pikachu, Pineapple Spark, and then there's this one, Flutter Pop Fizz, which is Butterfree, and she has the bug symbol. And then there's Mango Blaze, which I think is my favorite one. Raven! Oh, don't even get me started. Maybe I should have gotten more for people. And this one's a fire one, Mango Blaze. I think it's my favorite. This is the Charmander one. And then this one also smells really good. Splashberry, which is Squirtle. Now, I'm curious if they're going to do 2 more, because it says discover them all, and it has the electric, the mango, not one pictured, Squirtle and Butterfree. There were not even online. So no Bulbasaur and was that Jigglypuff? No Jigglypuff. And I'm wondering if they're going to be a part of the June, I think it's like June 6th. I think it's going to be the June 6th release that they're going to have more. But these are so cute. Ugh. That was a squirt. Oh! I lied. Okay, this one's my favorite. The mango's my second favorite. Pineapple, my third favorite. And this one, my fourth favorite. Oh my god. Oh, this smells just like a Barbie perfume that I had as a kid. Are you fudging kidding me? I wish you guys could smell this right now. It smells just like... Is there vanilla in this? A bright, juicy burst with cool, playful waves made for bold adventure. Are you gonna give me like a flavor profile? Okay, here we go. Top, scent profile. Strawberry splash, raspberry ripple, apple wave. Middle, peach skin drift, violet mist, peony petal swirl, butter glow. Bottom, vanilla cream tide, cooked sugar, and driftwood. This is super sweet and super fruity. This literally smells, it's fart spray. Oh my god. This smells so good. That is lovely. All right, well, this would be my recommendation. Let me do the other ones. All right, so the Mango Blaze scent profile, top. Apple Zest Pop, Pineapple Jolt, Peach Whirl, middle. Mango Bloom Burst, Rose Petal, Drift. I don't know how to say this word. It's not lizard. Muguet? Oh god, how do I focus? Muguet? M-U-G-U-E-T. I've never heard that word before. Muguet. Bottom. Praline Charge, Musk Drift, Coconut Glow. No, there was no lizard. If you count this a lizard because it's Charmander. This one just smells so fresh. So absolutely, like, I definitely smell the apple. Lizard. Was there apple in here? Pineapple. Yeah, apple zest and pineapple.
Lizard.
So, lizard. Cute as a button. Mwah. Think of the forehead kissy. Oh, this one smells so good. Pineapple Spark.
Lizard. Lizard.
The top. Grapefruit Zest, Pineapple Crush, Guava Splash, Watermelon Burst. I definitely smell the guava watermelon. Middle. Papaya Flower Glow, Lotus Dew, Jasmine Sambach Breeze. Bottom. Soft Musk Trail. And then this one, I don't think I sprayed. I think my sister-in-law got this one.
Lizard.
As well. This one, she said that this one smells like floor cleaner to her, like a Swiffer. I could definitely smell like a more... This one smells definitely more floral than any fruity. It still smells really good, but I don't want to eat this one. Unlike the other ones I want to eat. This one, the top is Zippy Kiwi, Crisp Green Apple, Raspberry Burst, middle, Blooming Jasmine, Petal Soft Peony, Sunny Peach. Bottom is Creamy Praline, Cozy Musk, and Glowing Amber. So yeah, I think in order... Splashberry, Mango Blaze, Pineapple Spark, and Flutter Pop Fizz. Please say Peony? Peony. Swiffer Sniffer. You Swiffer Sniffer. Are you like calling me a lint licker? Did I say Peony's weird? Daddy! Do I say it weird? Alright. Oh, there's a couple more. I know. Pigs went crazy. Again, I was not planning on getting all of these, but I did it. You do, but it's superior. Really? How do you guys say peony? Is it just peony? Oh, it's peony, isn't it? I like peony. But wait, there's more. Peony. Nah, I like peony. Cute as a button. Thank you for the 7th stream streak. What the fudgies? It has bottoms? Yeah. No, I was thinking more like bottoms. Your way's better. Thanks. So I was only going to get one of these journals, but I didn't realize they're going to be as thick as they are. And so I ended up getting one of each. So there was, and look at how shiny they are. Oh, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. I have anonymous follows on, but I see you, and I appreciate you. Welcome in. Peony. Peony. Yeah, I like peony. Oh, it's Lily of the Valley. My parents have like 1,000,001 Lilies of the Valleys in their front yard. It's so funny. Like, took over their entire house. It's funny. They have so many. So there's a really shiny Arcanine. And then... my favorite. Oh, I should show you guys the back, too. Hi, yourself. Thanks, Starfall. That is so sweet of you. Welcome in. So shiny. Na, 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 na. The Charizard is sick. This is what I wish I had when I was in school. Peony. I'm a peony girly, not peony. And then, of course, the Gengar. I love the okay, what's her name? Christine. Christine from Simply Nailogical would love this because it's, you know, sparkly and chrome. And it's so pretty. I feel like she would love this. But yeah, this is the Gengar. Hello, Taco! The Gengar is probably the prettiest of them all. But I think Charizard's my favorite. And then the Mew and Mewtwo. You are... I hear the peony. Yeah. Yeah. Ban! Give me some tea! And it's got Mew in the back. The only thing is, Mewtwo looks a little, like, different here. Like, it doesn't look, like, as angy as he usually does. Ban! And then, I believe the last thing that I got, I know, she's finally done, is I did get one of the binders. I really wanted to get this Charizard one, but I let this child get it instead because obviously it was a child. And I'm not gonna, like this guy's like, oh, a Charmander. So I was like, okay, you can have the Charizard. It was the last one. I was like, I'm not gonna take the last Charizard out of this child's hand. You know, it wasn't his hand, but, like, I moved out of the way and let them grab the last one. And so the only one that they had left was an Arcanine and a Mewtwo. So I grabbed a Mewtwo. And it's a binder. So I could put my little Pokemon cards in there. Pokemon cards. And then there's some folders in there, too, which I think is super dope. Maybe I'll keep some, like, my sticker sheets in there or something. But I got one of the binders. I really wanted either the Gengar or the Charizard, but they didn't have any Gengars, and I let the little child have the... Ooh, new Spank Bank! And I let the little child have the, the last Charizard one. I wasn't gonna be that guy. Yeah. Oh, Giraffe Blim! Shut up. So cute. Pineapple? But I hear Peony as well. Panda, that's so funny. Panda Pan. Goddess, mwah. Think of the forehead kissy. Alright, that's it! But, we have been having our keyboard charged this entire time. So let's see if this will light up longer than a second. The power button is kind of, like, hard to move. You're such a little... Oh, I hope it's not broken. Oh, I'm gonna be so sad. Because that was charging for a while. Dang, I hope it's not broken. Wait, I have a question. Mr. Wireless Keyboard. Will you... It does not work while plugged in. That is so disappointing. Oh, I hope it's... Oh! Damn it! I hope it's not broken. It's trying to connect? Is that what it's trying to do? So I'm dumb and it's charged? Oh no! Our table! It's broken! You're cooking bacon? Don't do it topless. That's quite the keyboard. So, first of all, it lights up. What the fudgies? Here. Let me see if I can get it to light up for a second again. Okay. So it does light up. It has like a little volume toggle here. Little like preset buttons here. And then this is what the keyboard sounds like. So it's like kind of like buttery, you know? Yeah, I bet you do, Panda Pan. Ack! Maybe it turns off because it's not. Yeah, maybe that's it, Chloe. Well, we got to see it light up for a second, and then it does have the little stand. It's got grippy, so don't move. This is actually quite nice. This is actually really nice. I don't know if I'll like use it for like my daily gaming, but I think it would be interesting to use. I don't know. I just really wanted it. Wait, like, the grippy? Yeah, like, it's, like, grippy. Oh, sorry. My dad's been in Nationals in Pokemon and plays second in my... What? Starfall? Shut up! Starfall. That is the flex you think that is. Not the grippy socks. That's so funny. But this is super cool. Super cool. I love that all the function buttons are the different Pokeballs. We got the netball. We got a love ball. We got a luxury ball. Is it a love ball? Actually, I don't think that's a love ball. We got a luxury ball. Premier ball, which is oddly one of my favorites. I love the premier ball. Net ball. So cute. And of course the classic Pokey Great Ultra Mastro. I really, really, really wanted the kickballs. But I might... Ooh. I like the way the space bar feels. Ooh, that's smooth. I want to put that in my mouth. My tism is showing. And it does have the number pad too. What ball in F4 and F5? F4 is Master, F5 is Premier. Should probably have a good bat. Oh, really? Cool. Oh, and here's the dongle. Dongle! Cool. I'm so gassed for this. So, F4 is Master Ball, yeah. Alt is... It looks like an ice... Like the ice sign. Or ice symbol. Fire, water, electric, Pikachu. And then this, like, it looks like... What's that one Pokemon? Like, it's called, like, Tomagetsu or something like that? I don't know. I can't really tell, like, who that is supposed to be. But it has some starters here. It's got the Hoenn. And it's got, Johto. And then Kanto starters. I love the Pokeball twisty thing here. So cute. So cute. Oh, good! I'm gonna look at it right now. Let me put this big boy away. And I'll look at your haul. Part of me is like, God, I want to get another water bottle, but I'm so happy with my Squirtle and Slowpoke. It's like, I can't imagine getting another one of these water bottles considering they're so large. And I have so many water bottles too. I have so many. Oh, I'm so happy. Chesper! He's playing with the binder right now. Stop! You can't eat that! Stop! Why are you the way that you are? Alright, let me go. Let me see All Goods Haul in the Discordio. And then we'll play Clair Obscur. I promise. I know that took a while. Pixel Kitten. Where'd you post it? I'm not the only one. Oh, in general! I see it. Oh, you got the tank top! Oh, and you got the... Okay, so you got the tank top, the Gyarados Magikarp reversible tank top. So cool. You got the Charizard Funko Pop and the Pikachu cup. So we're twins with that. Hell yeah. Oh, the tank top is super cool. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, brother. That's awesome. Oh, I'm so gassed for you. The keyboard is super cool. Wait, did you see the keycaps too? I got one for me and I got one to do for a giveaway. I don't know what I'm going to do for it or what I'm going to do for it, but they have little Pokeball keycaps. Oh gosh. They're there. So cute. Oh, is it Panda Pan? Maybe they did that by design. Yeah, the groupie sock jokes are always fun. It's DDJP. I changed my name. Just wondered what's the best for you. Tips, subs, biddies. If you don't want to answer, I understand. Mr. Dill Pickles. How dare you change your name to have pickles in it, first of all. Second of all, thank you for letting me know that you're the artist formerly known as DDJP. Third of all, what helps the streamers moist is, in order, tips, bits, subs. In order. That's what benefits the streamers the most. Because PayPal takes, like, I don't know, 5% of every tip, right? Or something like that. Something small. Bits, streamers get, like, I think 100% of, but the viewer pays more to buy the bits. So you pay, like, what? $1.60 for $1 of bits or something like that. There's some sort of conversion right there. And then subs, most streamers get 50% of each sub. I get 60% of each sub. And then some streamers are lucky enough to get 70% of each sub. That's the battery. Okay, cool. Thank you, Chloe. I would not even have known. Matt, you like the Discord? It is locked down for 1,000 channel points, just to make sure we don't have any crazy people join the Discord. So if you're here for a couple days, you'll be able to redeem the Discord link. But you do get your channel points back. Have a good night, Panda Pan! Yeah, the arrow keys. I think they'd be look a lot prettier with the arrow keys, yeah. Or I was thinking Waz, too, maybe even. With a coaster? Oh, good. That's you using your noggin? Willie! Mwah. Thank you for the forehead kissy. Also, Dale, thank you for the 3 stream streak. Thank you for asking, Starfall. Thanks for that info for future reference. I got you, Mr. Tail Pickles! Alright, so that's me yapping. Oh, I could stop. Oh, okay. I thought I didn't record for a second. I got, like, so scared. I was like, oh, no. Alright, so I got re-recording. Let us open up the game, and let's do part 3 of our Claire Obscura Expedition 33 playthrough. Oh, I'm gonna need my controller, aren't I? Oh, yes, sure. Cool. Bacon almost done. Yum. I forgot I have you plugged in. Oh, Oh! That's Boo. Boo is our sleepy little boy back here, and right here is Jasper. Come. Come. Oh boy. So I have 3 cats and 2 dogs. You really only see the 1 cat, which is this guy down here. That's him right there. Charlie's usually upstairs. He comes down when I say the T word, T-R-E-A-T. And Midnight is my black cat. She doesn't really come down here, but she sometimes comes down here. Balthazar, you will never see. He's so shy. And then Boo. Boo is always down here. Boo is always in his bed. Tattoo door! That was so much fun. Thank you guys so much for letting me go over that haul with you guys. That was so much fun. I'm glad because I got so much dopamine from getting all this stuff. Because for all intents and purposes, I think I got everything that I wanted. Except for the kickball. No! I purposefully have not watched the trailer yet because I wanted to watch it on stream, but then I keep forgetting to do that. Big dopamine. Oh, I was so gassed. It's what got me through my non-sleep day today. But yeah. The only way to make it better is I had some Pokemon cards, but... And yours didn't have the water bottles. I had to go to 2 different Targets. And the 2 different Targets had, like, completely different stuff. Oh, Carissy! I'm so sorry. It will be online tomorrow. At, like, 8 a.m. Central Time. Good luck. Good luck getting whatever it is you need, because people are, like, the scalpers are going crazy. Like, literally, look up Pokemon X Target on eBay, and you'll see so much. It's like, egregious how much is being, like, scalped right now. So bring you packs of Pokemon cards, it's good, small Prezi. That is, like, your retirement fund, so you should keep that. But I'll cry if that happens. Oh, okay. No, you're good, Raven. I might just watch it off stream because I really want to see it. Magic the Gathering packs. That's fair.
Lizard.
Oh, man. I cannot get my hands on any Pokemon cards. Shut up. Do you work at Target? Do you get a play discount on the Pokemon stuff too? That is dope. You do? No way. That's awesome. Damn. Hey, let me know when Pokemon cards restock. I'm just joking. Really? Yeah, cards are just like huge right now. Huge. Also, as always, let me know how the audio is. If it's too loud, too quiet, etc. No, this soundtrack, Baldur's Gate soundtrack. Yeah, zombie. Yeah, there was a big lull around like 2022, 2023, but. Now, in the past, like, I think since 2024, it's been, like, getting up there. My brother is what just got me. Like, I've been looking for Pokemon cards for about the past, like what, 2 weeks now? And I'm like, I'm all in. Jackie! Mwah! Kyle. Mwah! Think of the forehead kissy.
Lizard.
There's a cupcake. Wait, Kyle, should we do a poll for that? That'd be a really funny poll to see. What a great transition. Random lore, I'm sorry, but at the moment I dislike Gale. Rootsy, you and like 85% of the BG3 community. That's okay. More for me. More for me. Yes, Raven, you should. You really should. At one point, I could sing the whole thing. Do you? Really? I have that on my shower playlist, Zombie. If you're in the Tennessee, you're the only 10 I see. Really? I'm not in the Tennessee area. I'm Chicagoland. Yeah, exactly, zombie. Never met such a needy man. I need him. He's like a annoying little brother. Yeah, he's pretty annoying. Hell has its laws. Hell, effects and the claws. What's up, Faith? Guys, if there is a cupcake in the road, do you eat it? Yes or no? It totally has relevance. Faith, mwah, thank you for the forehead kissy. Actually, I just remembered I have to pull up stream on my phone so I could see chat. Again, if I miss anyone's messages, I'm so sorry. Are you really? For a wedding? Anybody you know? Are you excited, Shadowhawk? Flavor, road cupcake, any extra context? Nope. That's it. Faith, how was that? I love Astarion. Yeah, you can keep them. A crumb of context. Nope. That's it. A crumb of, that's so funny. I'm a germaphobe. Here's your context. I said no. I said I am not eating that. I'd eat the road with it. Oh my god. 14 to 15 hours driving. Hey, if you enjoy, I mean, you could probably get some good like sightseeing in between, right? Right. A ditto. I want a ditto. Guys, I don't remember where I was. Oh, no, I think I do. I just got God's favorite princess in my party. Oh, really, Starfall? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Okay. Oh, okay, so, first playthrough, no spoilers, no backseating. I will say I will ask chat if I need help, and there's Twitch drops for this. So if you guys sub yourself or gift a sub, you guys get an Expedition 33 Twitch badge, which is pretty fudging cool. I think it was, what, is I hold right trigger, I'm fast? Okay. I'm trying to remember all the buttons. I'm probably going to be messing up in combat a little bit until I get the hang of it again. But, oof, that's okay. We'll get there. Thank you, mods. Yeah, it is from Dungeons & Dragons today. Okay, we got Mael. That's who we got. Did I already do this one? I think we already did this one, no? Shoot, I'm trying to remember what I need to do. I have 3 points available. Oh, okay. A random encounter table today. That was very fun. I created and interrupted my feast. Because you're eating, Chloe, are you eating the cupcake? What is, 4 people said yes, 6 people said no. Purple, people. Urge my friend to eat it is so funny. I'm gonna vote no, because that's what I did earlier today. I had some really good dice rolls today. That was really nice. I'm diabetic and I said yes. Hey, it's all hypothetical, right? Enjoy your lurky turkey, Jade. And you said the green is coming up, right? All right. Who ate the weird road cupcake? Because he's going back to work at a cruise ship. He leaves on June 1st and come back to October. No way. Aw, Faith, I hope you get to see him again. I hope you had so much fun, though. Oh, from Indiana. Oh, so big Midwest family, eh? Big Midwest family. Can we pin Loki your Pixel Says thing? Por favor. Yes! I said give it to my friend, and yes, green. Oh, you were gonna give it to your friend? That's so funny. I miss D&D. I haven't played since January. It's been that long? Is it because work? Bravo. It's gotta be work, right? That's probably making it impossible for you. Vitality. Agility. Agility is ass, but I actually am okay with that. I'm gonna do... and then luck again. Alright. You don't have any. You have trace. do another agility, because I can. I'll just do another luck. And then... defense, sure. Like, I struggle so much between wanting to make everything super even, and then... Oh, look at how tiny she is! Oh, she's so tiny. I can struggle between wanting to make everything even and, like, trying to, like, improve, like, one thing. Thank you, Loki! Sitting in on... I feel like it is... You are more than welcome to. Absolutely. I need to get rid of all of these because I can't see chat. There we go. Thank you, Loki. You're joking. What, they can't move it around for you or something? Shite. What is this? Thermal transfer. Deals low single target ice damage. 2 hits. Gains 4 AP. If target is burning. Consumes earth. Play a second turn. I like that. We like more turns. Yes, sir. Oh, this is where I came from, isn't it? Yeah, because that's the house. Okay, so we want to go this way. Cool. All right. She's remembering. Not super serious, that's your Friday game. I think it's nice that you have your serious Friday game first, and then you have whatever we do on Saturday. I think it's nice that... Oh, that's right. I had to shoot something. Okay. Okay. This was the attack button. Okay. Whoa! Can I attack you guys? I don't want to. But I will. Oh, okay. He just turned around and scared the hell out of me. It is what it is. So we literally just said, we literally just made words of saying that we'd love to do another mod group. Like there were some interest. Let's put it out there. There was some interest from the mod team saying that they would want to do a mod D&D session. But there's been no plans or no anything of that. It was just on Wednesday, and by Wednesday I mean yesterday, that there was an interest made that people would want to do a D&D mods. So who knows if there's anything that's going to come of that, but that has been made of interest out there. That's where I came from. That didn't quite sound the way it sounded totally fine. What do you mean? Sometime my schedule will change. Ooh. Do you know how often your schedule might change, Bravo Penguin? I just remember seeing either a Durian or Jackfruit. Yeah! I was asking the mods. It was like, because I was saying that I was asking them if they've ever eaten a Durian, and they were telling me that that's illegal. And I was getting Durian and Jackfruit mixed up. And so I want to eat both of them. But I guess Jackfruit is what is at H-Mart. I could run Mod World of Darkness, Chronicles of Darkness, basically something in the Storyteller system, something. I have all the books on PDF. That is something that we can absolutely totally discuss for anyone who is interested in doing it. Because I know Rootsy's never done D&D, and she's currently playing Baldur's Gate 3 right now. And that's the only... I only felt comfortable enough to start my first session, which is the one that I'm currently doing with Kyle, Spades, Eclipse, Musicid, Delicate, etc. I'm only doing it with them because I felt so much more comfortable after playing Baldur's Gate 3, because that was like my gateway drug into Dungeons & Dragons. So I think, Rootsy, you'll probably feel more comfortable wanting to do it after you play that, at least for a little bit. The same since January, but I was thinking of asking if it'd be possible to swap. Okay, cool. What would you swap it to if you had the chance to? I tried something durian flavored and not... Yeah, really? Yeah, I'm just curious. I live in the gutter. Chloe, that's why you're in the right place. I believe so. I'm so excited. Ruthie, I want to... Please feel free to spam either me or the mod chat with all of your Baldur's Gate updates. I want to know everything. Even if you kill Gale or whatever, or make him run away from you. Because I know Eclipse made him leave her party. Their party, sorry, Eclipse. BG3 is a gateway drug. Real. So that you like it. Now, I love it so much. I do have a new character that I want to try, too. Oh, I forgot. I can do this, right? Sorry, it's been a couple days since I've played, so I'm trying to remember. and I don't really know how to play from the get-go, so it's gonna be a lot of figuring out. It's gonna be a lot of you guys being frustrated, especially if you guys know how this game works. It's gonna be a lot of you guys being frustrated, like, no, you should have done that. I'm not going for optimization, I'm just going for whatever gets the job done. You know what I'm saying? Let's do... Sure. Sure. Okay, he's on fire, which is great. Beth! Mwah, thank you for the forehead kissing. Ooh, if I'd be home before the sun went down. See, that's, okay, that's huge. You feel like home? Chloe, that really means a lot. That's awesome that you said that. Yo, Nerdling! Thank you so much for the raid! Welcome in, Raiders! Oh, my stream is freaking out. Hi, Nerdling! How was your stream? What were you up to? Thank you so much for the raid. What the hecky? We, actually just, in the past, like, 10 minutes, just got into, I know, an hour and a half into stream, we finally started playing, almost at Baldur's Gate, Claire Obscure Expedition 33. How was your stream? You're playing Content Warning. I still haven't played that. Did you have the most fun? Were you playing with a bunch of people? Baldur's Gate 3 is definitely a gateway drug. I had no interest in D&D until I started PG 3. I was so intimidated, but it was such a nice introduction. Yes, 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 yes. Everything, yes. Nerdling, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in, everybody. We were doing, for like an hour and a half, a unboxing, haul of all of, like, my Pokemon X Target collab stuff that they were doing. And now we're playing Claire Obscure Expedition 33. I have it, but I haven't, like, oh, same! I literally just started. I am on my 3rd playthrough, and maybe, like, in actual, in real game time, probably, like, maybe, like, an hour into the game. But I've been, I literally just sit here with the game open for hours on end, so I think of, like, 10 hours of gameplay in here. It's bad. Did you really? And you got the lip roller. See, I didn't get that one. I had it in my hand and was like, do I need it? But I did get the Lip Smackers kit. Like, the 8 Lip Smackers. I did get that. Oh my god, I got the Arcanine Cup too. I got a lot. Also, I got some of the mystery water bottles too. I got a Slowpoke, and then I opened up my 2nd water bottle on stream, and it's a Squirtle. Does it? Alright, maybe I'll have to try to get that if I see it again. What's up, Dinu? Mwah. Thank you for the forehead kissy. Happy weekend, guys. Also, Nerdling and friends, if you guys need to go raid and run, do not feel bad about doing so. Please get your post-stream stretchies, bath and breaks, namis, and bevies. Go eat, go pee, go poo, go stretch, go drink. Please take care of yourselves. If you love Peach, shut up. Okay, I do love Peach. What's up, Gear? What'd we pull? Oh, from the Target thing? I got, what did we get? I got the perfumes, the lip smackers, 1 of each pack of the stickers, the keyboard, 1 of each of the perfumes, Pikachu cup, Arcanine cup, Slowpoke bottle, and Squirtle water bottle. Shu Tucker was a great anime dad and did nothing wrong. I have no clue what that is. I'm sorry. Also, can we kid with the homie? No way! I hope you have so much fun. Are you gonna do oh. I trust you, Nerdling. I trust you guys. I trust you guys. Was he like a bad person? Oh, yeah, my brother got the, we got the Gengar shirt for my brother. Yeah? Okay, cool. Thank you, Nerdling. Oof. Thanks, Nerdling. Oh, sorry, I'm so dumb. I don't know what that was. English. Mwah. Think of the forehead kissy. Nerdling, I trust you. You tell me to ban someone, I'll do it. Oh, man. Oh, man. Did you get Pokemon cards, though? No. Never had Pokemon cards. He literally uses Chalice as a fucking experiment. Oh, so this guy's a piece of shit. Cool. Oh, we can report him. Do you guys want to... Here, this is his name if you guys want to report him. Because if you report him, Twitch's report system is so good. So if you guys report that account, it could probably get removed in, like, a minute. Oh, man. No, that's good, Nerdling. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Thank you so much. Oh, seriously, thank you for letting me know. Also, English, happy weekend! Oh, there you go. But were they just joking around or being serious? If it's gonna be a first-time chatter, I'm assuming that they were probably being serious. And like you said, trying to rage bait. Actually, I have Dan Clancy on my speed dial. I'm also a Dead by Daylight creator, which means I also have behavior on my phone as well. I do not have a DB code yet, but they may let us get codes in the future. I am in the Eerie program, so we will probably have codes maybe, but not yet. None of the new Eerie creators have codes yet. Please tell me no. I do not know. You're good. But we did get 10 Attack on Titan cosmetic codes to give away, and I'll be doing that either next Wednesday or next Friday. I'll post about it when we're doing the giveaways. No, you're so good, Gear. You're so sweet. And even if I did have a code, you guys don't have to use my codes on stuff, but that's so sweet of you to think. Escape, mwah, thank you for the forehead kissy. Rockin' Rebel, mwah, thank you for the forehead kissy. You're so sweet, Gear. Oh, I'll let you guys know if I do, though. Oh, that'd be so cool if I ever do. This song is so pretty. Gear, don't be nice to me. Don't be nice to me. I'll get a complex. Oh, skills. That's what I want.
Lizard.
Deadpool makes an appearance. Rocket! Yeah, my first playthrough. My first playthrough! Can you believe it? Health. Ooh, heals. Oh, I don't need that because I am not injured. Let's just do this on you. Yeah, that was good. Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, they could always do the unban request, but that's gonna be they're gonna have to do a lot of convincing to get out of that unban request because I'm pretty set on that ban. To be here because I'm off work on Saturday. Ooh, Chloe, I love that. I love that. We love days off. Also, Marta, mwah, thank you for the forehead kissy. Yeah, we only have it locked behind channel points just to make sure no one like weird gets into the server, but you do get your channel points back after you redeem it. Now she has stances. Stances, low focus damage, physical damage, switches versus if target is burning, hit one, damage, one hit, low fire damage, target becomes weak to fire damage for 2 turns.
Lizard.
Minus 2 burns, minus 3 burn. Let's do this one on you. Oh, I missed both those, that's alright. Powerless. Powerless is debuff that reduces the character's damages by 20%. Alright, and I forgot what the button was for dodging. I think it's B. No way! Oh! You attacked twice. Alright, well I didn't know that! I didn't know that!
Please survive.
Your server failed is weird, I made his way in. Oh, are you talking about you? Or are you talking about the guy that we just banned? Because I'm getting nervous right now, hold on. Wait. Escape, you're making a joke about you, right? Okay, sorry. Because I'm just like, did somebody get in? No, you're good, Gear. Good luck on your game. If you're playing Huntress, yeah, all the mods are like, space the way, like I start like sweating. With stuff like that, and same vein as Randall, but Randall's first. Yeah, exactly. First time chatters don't get a pass. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I can't really do anything. Well, I guess I could just attack. Yeah. Oh, cool. Okay, cool. I love the play while you wait. The play while you wait is so good.
Finesse and grace.
For 1 second. I was gonna join the court. No, you're so good. You're so Gucci. Ooh, what was my health? Ooh, I think... how do I check health? Is it this? Oh, okay, we're good. Okay, we're good. send me into a panic? Good. I'm joking. Sorry, I got scared. Yeah. Yeah, Shadowhawk. That's why, and like, with my experience on being on the internet for over 20 years, I know, especially with now that I know the context, what they're saying, I 100% know. Like, there's no grace there. I 100% know that they were just trying to be a weird person that deserves to have their account removed. So, if you guys reported that account, you'll probably get an email before the stream ends that their account has been removed. Alice community? No, you! Yeah, Chloe, exactly. What's up, Mav? Mav, happy weekend. We did our Pokemon Target haul unboxing, and I literally just started the game, so you haven't really missed much of the gameplay for today. Not much today. Ooh, bomb. It's a bomb. Made with bombs. From a bomb factory. They're bombs. Oh, actually, you're flying, so don't I need to hit you? Yeah, I like that. Oh, and I get another turn. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Cool. I haven't seen any new joins since last night, I think. Oh, yeah, no, we're good. We know it was a joke now. That escape was making a joke, but I just got scared. It was a funny joke, but just my timing made me high alert. Like that. Oh! Okay. Oh, I missed that. Okay. Sorry, it's gonna get me some time to get used to the combat again. Nice. Nice! Cool, 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 cool. I gotta remember to do parries, but I want to do dodges first. Let's just get you out of the game. Oh, actually, no. Wait, are you burning? He is burning. Okay, so I don't need to shoot him because he'll die in his next turn. So actually, I'm just going to attack you. And this should kill him. Alright. No! Escape, you are so good. Because it was a funny joke, but just like the timing for me made me panic. So you are so fine. You are like chef's kiss. You're totally perfect. Literally perfect. What is SMT? Is that like an anime? I don't know animes. You are now also on my watch list. No, no. For the record, he is joking. Kyle was joking. I'm so grateful for these like really easy combats. So I can try to get back into the swing of things. Oh, hello, lag. Ooh, let's go fight this guy too. So, Pixel says chat. So this is me asking a genuine question. Pixel says chat. Is this game kind of grindy? Like, are you like expected to do a lot of grinding in this game? Persona? I've never played Persona. Am I lame? I'm joking. Shin Megami Tensei is a broad series of video games around catching and collecting monsters based loosely around tarot. Shut the front door! Tarot cards? Cool! Sub-series, so it's digital devil summoner. Oh, so it's like it's all connected? I love Persona. I've never played Persona. Is that like, was that a PlayStation exclusive? I feel like I saw was it the PSP or something had Persona or something? I don't know. I could be making it up. It's on PC now. Let's just do just a regular attack. Oh, you know, I keep forgetting to shoot you. Yeah, just kill him. Get my dead energy. Attack you. Cool. I'm okay with that. Skills. Marking shot. Yo. On guard. Let's do this. Ooh. Okay.
Get ready.
Oh, I pressed the wrong button. See, I want to do more parries, but I keep forgetting. Okay, can I parry this, I wonder? Yes! Oh, I forgot he did it twice. Damn it! That's right. I'll get there, I'll get there. Let's attack you. That should kill him. Yeah, and then let's attack you. Stroke Spirit, I haven't heard that name in a long time. Really? I never had a PSP. There's a decent amount of swords here, so I'm alert for a bit. Oh, do your thing! Oh! I hope your headache feels better. Mwah. I hope you feel better. If you guys haven't said happy birthday to Raven, make sure you guys say happy early birthday. It's Raven's birthday tomorrow. With Black Rabbit the other day in a match of Fortnite. Yeah, Fortnite, we're about to get down. I'm totally going into this. Ugh. See, that's not a good first time chat, right, Escape? A lot of people's first time was Persona 5, which is the newest one. Oh, really? Early birthdays! Yep, yep. Yeah, me neither. I think I have seen gameplay of it, but I'm still, like, completely ignorant to it. Max, mwah, thank you for the forehead kissy. Oh. Oh. Oh, I thought I could Skyrim this for a second. Oh, man. Alright. I'll find a way around. Aha! Probably this way. Hello, lovely.
We can use
that. X. There's probably something to travel to. Oh, here we go. Oh, nope. Oh, is it X? Oh, it is X, okay. I love this grapple thing. Oh. New Pictos. Augmented aim. Speed 21. Critical rate 4%. 50% increased fire or free aim damage. Ooh. Yay! Gear! Hold on. Actually, I'm not doing anything right now, or I'm pausing the game. I could get that. Modulators. I got it. Gear. Oh, my... I still got it. My PC's really slow right now. Hold on. Edit invite link. One use. Generate new link. Oh! Pepper Goblin! Yeah, I got it. Pepper Goblin, thank you so much for the sub. I was like, raid? Thank you so much for the brand new sub. Enjoy your 90... Count them. Your 90 emotes, your ad-free viewing, and your sub badge, and your brand new Expedition 33 Twitch badge. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm going to send you a Twitch whisper. Gear. And let me know if it works. Can I have someone refund that channel point, though, por favor? That would be super helpful. All right, let me know if this link workies. Were you really nerdling? I almost cried because I love it so much. No way. Yeah, because it's literally just to be like a... the points are literally there just as like a vouch. Like, okay, I've been here long enough. I vibed out. You haven't been timed out or banned or anything like that, so... It's just there as like a formality, I guess is the best way to say it. Okay. Yeah. How's gaming going? It's been great, Max. So far the game's been good. We've only been really gaming for about like 20 minutes ish, but we're doing a lot of yapping earlier. It was really nice. Longtime VOD watcher, shut the front door. No way. Just want to say I love your stuff. I'm glad I finally got. Whatever. That means so much. Oh my god, Pepper Goblin. That means so much because, one, I see that, like, I know people watch my VODs because I see the number, like, always go up, like, after, like, days. Like, I see people, like, watch the VODs, and I've always wondered, like, do people actually, like, watch my VODs, or is that, like, a Twitch bug or something? I don't know. That's really cool. Thank you so much for supporting me and my streams. That really means a lot. And also, thank you so much for the fudging sub. That is so dope. What the fudgies? What a cutie. You? Thanks, Gaia. I owe 7 of my points away, too. No, they're all you. All yours. Have a good night, Max. Everyone say good night, Max. I hope you have the best weekend ever. Eat lots of... what do we call them? Road cupcakes? Oh, what was the... that's my butt. What was the final tally on that poll for people who would eat the road cupcake? Good night, Pegasus. You mean Maximus? You guys are so sweet. Why is everyone being so nice to me today? Oh, I forgot to do a thing. Pretty easy to get. Yeah, right? Yes, exactly, Chloe. See, you're so smart and tall and talented and handsome. What was I gonna do? You. I want you to have this. Edit Pictos. Mark. Augment to aim. Increased free aim damage. Yes, I need you to have this. Turn chance to burn out free aim shot. Increase girl chance of burning enemies. Healing tints. Also remove all status effects for the target. I want this one. Yes. You don't have anything, so let's give you something. You could just have the two that are... Yeah, oh, you can have to... Wait. Oh, there we go, okay. Everything's equipped. Yippee! You have 14 TVs? Oh, you're gonna get smoked! I'm joking. Good luck! Baba Yaga. Because Pixie Kitten, the world's most adorable streamer. You guys don't have to lie to me. But it's really nice. I like the lies. Okay, you guys said there's no fall damage, right? I wonder if there's somewhere I could, like, jump. Why am I sitting like this? Oh my god, I cracked my back earlier. Oh, Terrapole! I just saw your Terrapole. I'm so sorry. You know what? I was kind of like high-key, low-key hoping someone would redeem Terrapole today. No fall damage. Thank you. Most adorable and kind and goated card. Me? No, you. It's not that type of game, love. Alright, remember, if you guys like the tarot poll, you're welcome. If you guys don't like it, play Nerdling. Nerdling, did you get your post-stream self-care? No, you? Mine's bigger. Don't get into a no you fight with me. Ow. I want this card. Whatever this one. This is the one I want. Pepper Goblin! Mwah. Think of the forehead kissy. Water. Okay, can you at least get a snack for me? The Chariot. In reverse. You may lack willpower, or you've lost a sense of your place. You'll soon rein in your impulses, courage, or control. Let this serve as a wake-up call that you need to stop taking everything lying down. Ooh, we had this recently, didn't we? Shut the front door, Nerdling. I saw those in store. They're like a green package, right? I saw those when I was out with my dad the other day. Are they good? Zamiz, thank you for the 15 stream streak. What the fudgies? Try the bigger one now? Size issues. I've never been told that I had size issues. I'm joking. Travel issues, aggression, lack of control, or a canceled journey. Shout out to anyone who flies Spirit Airlines. R.I.P. Spirit. I've only flown Spirit once, and it was like the worst, hands down. My worst or second worst flying experience. I'm gonna go with worst, but pretty close to second worst. Yeah, I've had one flight experience in Spirit, and it was the worst, or tied for worst flying experience in my life, so... Sure! My sister-in-law is stuck in Vegas because there's Spirit. That, I don't mean to laugh. I'm laughing because of the... I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh, because that's absurd. I'm laughing because of the level of absurdity that is. I apply for flight attendant jobs and I burnt out for... Do you really? Do you actually consider it? Your first mistake was fucking Book of Spirit? You said it, not me. So the tarot fits. Really? Nerdling, I love that. We love a slightly little chariot reverse pull. There is a cooldown though, so I think it's like in 10 minutes you can redeem another one. Really? Dagos, did you mean to do it? And I thought I was gonna die? Yeah. I did not like my experience with Spirit. I think my issue was is that they like tried to like kick me off the flight or something. I was like going to Florida with my boyfriend at the time and his family. And there was something wrong. Like, I'm not gonna like totally blame Spirit here because my ex was like a fudging idiot. And I'm sure he messed something up. But like Spirit was being totally not helpful at all about it, and I still think that it was still their fault, but, like, at the time, my boyfriend at the time, Max, was, like, a fudging idiot, too, so it's, like, whatever. But, anywho, but they were trying to, like, get me, like, my ex, my boyfriend at the time, Max, paid for my ticket, and for some reason, they were trying to say that, nope, this ticket doesn't exist, and it's, like, it's literally right here. He was showing he had to show his bank account, saying, like, here's my ticket, here's her ticket, here's her ticket that I just printed from the kiosk, and they were just, like, trying to make it so, like, I couldn't fly. And it was a whole thing, and I was, like, this close to just saying, like, I'm just not gonna go. But eventually it got sorted out, but it was really stressful. It was awful. So, yeah. And then, like, the entire flight itself was awful because it was Spirit, so. Again, I'm not, like, relishing in, like, so many people, like, losing their jobs or, like, being stuck in places or, like, getting totally fudged over by Spirit completely just, like, stopping everything. I'm not relishing that. I'm just lamenting about how Spirit was just always just, like, a very bad airline. It was with Delta, and then the part of the interview when they make you remember, like, 5 guest requests was an ADHD nightmare. They said, apply again in a couple months. Oh, really? I think I'm gonna pull up E33 to play well. Do it! Because for my skills on it get rusty. That's what I'm trying to do. Get used to it. I've flown a lot. Flown once with Spirit. Oh, I just read that. It's only the beginning. Oh, you think of, like, all the flights. Like, all the, like, flight. What am I trying to say? Brands. Like, going down or something of my team and build and tag in the server, which you consider a spoiler. I'm gonna say hold off for now. You can feel free to post it in the Discord, but just add a spoiler on it just for my sake. But I won't look at it for now just because I haven't gotten very far yet. Leon's Moans with a 110 stream streak. Huge mod streak, by the way. My birthday twin is a flight attendant, loves it so much. I haven't heard many horror stories, bad horror stories with people who I know that are flight attendants, but I know that there are probably horrible horror stories out there. And also Leon's Moans. Think of the forehead kissy. Everyone say hello to Leon's Moans, or Leon's Moans is gonna ban you. Oh my god, did you guys see the edited pictures of Spirit Halloween being put on the Spirit planes? Again, I'm not relishing in it, and I'm not, like, trying to, like, make light of the situation because it is a really shite situation, but I thought that was super funny. Hello, Leon's Moans. How do I get down? Oh my god, can I just do this? Oh, nope, okay. It's not like in Baldur's Gate where you could just become another person. Okay, well, I'm just gonna jump down. Sorry, Mael. Alright, well, you took that very gracefully. I never make typos ever. Uh-huh. That looks blow-upable. No. You look blow-upable. Oh, you're not. Okay, sorry. Deminure. What's this Nevron doing? Examine. It doesn't seem threatening. It's clinging to a metal chain. Doesn't it usually carry a mine with it? What if we were to give it one? Let's leave it. I'm not gonna attack it. So let's find, like, a little, like, mine balloon for him or something. Booner kitty? What's a booner kitty? Sees dead people. What's up, gender fluid druid? Happy weekend. I'm afraid to the flight attendant now because if there are government shutdowns. Oh, yeah. No, you're so right. That is a very genuine fear to have right now, especially with all of them. All of them going on. So I'm looking for a mine on a balloon. Is that what I'm looking for? What was that sound? The volume's still okay, right, guys? Oh, I can't jump down here. All right. Well, I'll go this way then. Where the scary sounds were. I can't jump down there either. All right. I can't go anywhere. A kaboom. Kaboom. Anytime I see the word or hear the word kaboom, I just think of Call of Duty Zombies. Kaboom. I have a level of poverty to maintain. That's so funny. Oh, so cute. My sister-in-law has 3 bunnies, and she let me feed some of them today. They were so cute. I wanted to take a video, but I was too busy like freaking out about it, so I did not take a video. But it made me very happy. So, is there like literally nothing to do down here, or can I shoot something? Look, there's like a barnacle. Like, I hear this like mystical sound coming from over here, but I don't really see anything that I can do. I mean, I don't know. I love flying in video games. Mr. Ware, that emote makes me so happy. I can't see it because my OBS doesn't show it. But I know what it looks like. I love the emote so much. Alright, well maybe I'll go over there. Can I go over there? Let's see. Well, brother. Oh! I did not mean to do that. I did not mean to do that. Can't go anywhere here. I hate water level. Oh, 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 oh! Can I Skyrim this? Oh, yes!
An advantage.
Oh! A mine! Mine. Okay. Can I go anywhere else? Oh, okay. Well, this should be for this guy, right? Pro gamer. Thank you. I'm gonna also decide if it wants me to run over stuffy. I can't handle both at the same time. It's like one nostril like leaking and the other one stuffy, because that would give me my 13th and 14th reason, respectfully. Hey, hold this. That's so funny. Oh, you're so cute. Now we fight. Ooh.
Said something.
New weapon. Thank you. Okay, how funny would this be, though? Aw, man. This game's ass. They're both stuffy and leaking. Ma, pick a struggle. Already said that last stream. Felucia in Star Wars games. I do not remember if someone said that, and if they did, I probably didn't read it, because I'm a bad streamer and I don't know how to read. Yikes. I don't know who that is. Aren't there a bunch of Star Wars games on sale right now? I know. SMH, I know. Well, I don't need to go up there. That is where I just found the thingy. Nikki! What? Thank you for the forehead kissy. Do I hear an enemy? Oh, that was Jasper. Not an enemy. I guess you can call Jasper my enemy sometimes. Where do I go? It does? Oh, so you guys know. Forgot I was on New Game Plus. Something I was about to say out loud. Oh, thank you. Thank you for holding that in. Well, no, maybe I was supposed to go. No, I was supposed to go this way. Well, let me heal, I guess, since I'm here. Isn't this gonna respawn everybody though? The false is strong. It is not. Oh wait, I think everyone had full health already. Wow! How do I keep getting? I just kicked you. Oh, I kicked your leg. I'm so sorry, Angel. I didn't know you were here. You want to say hello? Oh, okay. He said, absolutely not, mother. We already have our penis of the day. Panda Monster has the biggest pee-pee. You can tie it though. Not tie it, but you can get a tie with it. Yes. Ooh, 43. You got an 8K? Slay. Slay. I'm so proud of you. That's awesome. Let's give her some luck. Just some luck. Bow tie. Gotta keep an eye out for your peener. Defense. Defense. Actually, no, that's fine. That's fine. I didn't want to do that, but it's fine. You have 3 skills. I will save yours. You have 2. Apply shell, reducing damage taken to up to 3 allies for 3 turns. Yes, ma'am. Considering how shy I am with the defending, yeah. Electrify deals low single target lightning damage. 3 hits, critical hits, triggers an additional hit. Consumes fire to generate 1 light. Ooh, okay. You have a lot of skills. All right, I once nearly maxed that out on another person's stream. Someone else stream I got 999. Really? Ours only goes up for our penises. They only go up to 69. Vibe and Brat goes up to 100%. Yeah, I think PP only goes up to 69. Hi, Candy! Candy. Mwah. Think of the forehead. What are you looking at? No, come. Oh, look at you! Look at you! Keep on running. Keep on running. Keep on running. Wait. Oh, get it. Slime Ball Steve! Ain't no way! Thank you so much for the 7! Enjoy your 90. Count them. Your 90 emotes to add free view and your sub badge and your Expedition 33 Twitch badge. Candy, did I already do a kissy for you? Mwah. Did you want to say hello? Are you, what do you want? Oh my god. Oh my god. The cat must say hello.
Hello, this is Jasper. He's being such a brat, so maybe he wants to say hello to you guys.
Thank you. Thank you. Alright. Oh, okay. We're happy now. We're happy. Mommy's paying attention to me. Ooh. Immediately jumps off. Well, what's up, Steve? What's up, Candy? Guys, happy weekend. Does that mean it's bow trim time? Oh, are you talking about their nails? Nail trim time? I thought you were talking about Bal as in like my other cat, Balthazar. I can. Do you guys want to do a little nail trim? Let me take off my thumb rings. I did say the next time he annoyed me. Snip, snip. Come. Oh, I know. Are you ready, kids? Aye, Captain. I can't hear you.
I can't believe my eyes, I must be dreaming. Wake up, Jack, this isn't fair. What's this?
Thank you so much for continuing your sub you got from Dwayne. Why is everyone being nice to me today? Did my mom pay you guys to be nice to me today? Mom! Thank you so much. Enjoy. You're so cute. Stop it. Enjoy your 90. Count them. Your 90 emotes to add free view and add your sub badge. Stop it. Stop it. He's purring and growling at the same time. How does that work, buddy? He's just like vibrating, essentially. Alright. Do you want a treat? You want a treat? Let's go, boy! I won't even make you spin. And look, it's a double treat. Oh, good dog. Good doggy. Swell nerd. Mwah. Thank you for the forehead kissy. And Canary. Mwah. Thank you for the forehead kissy. Thank you for reminding me about that. Oh, Dangos, I'm also allergic to cats, hence why I'm always like disgustingly like nasally and stuffy and everything like that. I'm also allergic to dogs. Tell me why I have 3 cats and 2 dogs. Tell me. Tell me why. Na, 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 na. Tell me why. Oh my god, did anybody see any It's gonna be May. Memes. I did. Sit so patient for you for nails. Oh my god. And he's the worst one, too. My tuxedo boy. Oh, he's such a good boy. He'll do anything mommy says. Midnight, she's a little squirrely, but she's at least quiet about it. He's the loudest. So annoying. But I'm really lucky. All my cats are pretty good with their nail trims. Balthazar and Midnight, my other two kitties, I've had since they were like 6 months old, so they've like been used to me nail trimming them. Jasper I had since he was 3 years old, so he did have to get used to it. A teleport! Yes, I see. I will read the cards for you. And remember, if you don't like it, it's your fault. But if you like it, you're welcome. What's up, Ben? Do any of your animals sleep in bed with you? Yes, all of them. We have a 100-pound dog, and she's a suck and sleeps with us. Wait, what was suck an autocorrect? What was that supposed to be? A 21-pound Maine Coon. Jesus Christ. Machine just went down, which means nothing readers. Yay! Oh, before your because this is your Friday, right? I love this for you. 21-pound Maine Coon. But yeah, M Bonds. Everybody sleeps with me. Charlie sleeps with me the least now because Boo literally kicks him off. Boo is super possessive of me. It's bad. It's not really healthy how possessive Boo is of me. Like, Boo will literally growl at Charlie if he comes to me, and then I have to like do him a little nose thing, and then I push Boo away and get Charlie towards me because I don't want to like encourage that behavior. Like, I don't want Boo to like have that possession over me. And especially since like I had Charlie first. Charlie's my favorite. I'm joking. I love them all so much. But like Charlie's like my boy, you know? He's my boy. And I anytime Boo growls at him, I was like, no. This is not gonna fly. It's not gonna fly, sweetheart. I love it for you. I love that for you. Like a baby for big. Really? Yeah. Boo only sleeps with me under the covers. Like, he literally will bark at me until I lift up the covers for him to sleep under the covers with me. And I have a queen bed, and this fat fuck like pushes me all the way to the edge. But he doesn't push me with this. He doesn't push me with his legs. He pushes me with his back. He like pushes me off the bed. And so I'll wake up one leg off the bed and me like sleeping on the bed, and Boo like completely stretched out and his back against me. His back is against my body and pushing me out. I'm just like, you little shit. So I have to like literally roll him, like flip him like a pancake. So it's the worst. Also, hi Eclipse. Mwah. Think of the forehead kiss. See, Boo's an excellent snuggler. As you can see, he's a professional sleeper. Midnight is the most annoying little bitch. So Midnight is my black cat. I love her. Currently, she's my favorite of the cats. I know Balthazar got taken down. I know. But she's my favorite at the moment. And it swaps, whatever. You're a real pet parent if you change your favorites. But Midnight is so fudgy and annoying. If I'm sitting on the couch, she literally, she's like 6 pounds soaking wet. She will make it a point that she has to sleep right here. Right here. You guys get snaps of it all the time. Like, she sleeps of it, like, right here. She has to have her head right here, and she has to sit right on my titties. Not here. Not here, not here, not here, not here, here. Here. She has to. And she will get mad. And she'll, like, push her face and move things out of the way to make it so that she sits here. And when I finally win, because sometimes it's too hot and I don't want her to sit on my face. Like, if I just got done working out, I don't want her to sit on my face. I'll push her down and she'll sit on my lap. She won't look at me. She'll sit on my lap because it's like, But she'll be so indignant about it. Balthazar will sit on any part of my body. He's just happy to have, and he'll sit on like my armrest on my couch, and he'll put like one paw on me, just so that he has some sort of physical contact with me. I love Balthazar. Oh, he's usually my favorite, but right now it's Midnight. Now Midnight, when I'm sleeping, is so fudgy and annoying, because there's cat hair everywhere. She's so annoying because, again, she's so indignant and she's so stubborn. If I sleep on my side, she only sleeps right here on like my butt. And she won't sleep on here. She won't sleep. Oh, she'll sometimes do my shoulder. So 90% of the time she's sleeping right here in my butt, and then 10% of the time she's on my shoulder. And oh, when I have to swap sides because like my arm is sore or something, and I swap sides, oh, she's pissed. But you know what? She comes right back, and then she goes right back here, or right here. I love her though. Yeah. Oh my god, she's the absolute, like, just so annoying. She's such a brat. Oh, and then she whenever she's sleeping right here, she sneezes right in my face. Oh, nothing gets me, like, throwing my covers faster. You never get sleep? Not great sleep. I haven't had great sleep in however long I've had these fuckers. 11 years since I've had these cats. I've had these cats because they're 11 years old. Charlie turns 7, and Boo turns 4 this year. So yeah. Oh, okay. Sorry. Tarot pull. The 4 of Cups. In reverse. You're opening yourself to the possibility of a fresh start. Take the time to embrace new ideas, people, and opportunities. You're ready to let go of patterns or of people that no longer serve you. You are experiencing sudden awareness. You are choosing happiness and acceptance. So good for you. The joy. I'm a mother. Really, truly. Boo is such a baby. She's so annoying, but she's still my favorite. As a corner of the bed she's next to, I'm always rolling to my dog. So my dog, I'm always rolling. So my dog took her own corner. That's smart. See, I wish Boo would do that. If you don't serve me in some way, bye. Oh, good. Bye-bye. Hi, Lobster. Lobster. Mwah. Think of the forehead kissy. I'm so sorry if I missed anyone's chats, which I'm sure I did. Fluffy was partly Maine Coon. Imagine something like Jasper's size with Maine Coon color, and he was something else of a cat. Yeah, Jasper is pretty big, but he's definitely not Maine Coon big, because he's only a Nebelong. He's not a Maine Coon. Well, yeah, because you offended her ancestors by not allowing her to rest on your face. She's so annoying. Oh, is Boo powder? Boo is powdered donut-ing. I kick in my sleep, so my dogs have learned to sleep by my partner's feet and not mine. That's so funny. Phoenix tried doing that with Callie. When she started getting older, I shut that shit down fast. Oh, teach me your ways, Rootsy. Yeah. Phoenix and Boo are literally the same dog. It's scary. Yeah. I just noticed I got like 20 freckles on my right shoulder. Oh, do you get like freckles in the sun? Like when the sunshine? I have very limited energy. I can't waste that on people that don't provide me happiness. Oh, so real. So real, Angel. Oh, Spooky Dragon, do you want cat treats or dog treats? Trained dog professionally 5 years. Oh, you know what? There is actually something I really need your help with that I should message you. Dog related. I should take your opinions on and or doing the same thing right now. Oh, just staring. Do you want to trade? You can have Jasper. Ugh. He is waiting so patiently. Yep. Nope. Another double treat. Look at you, Chub Chub. Here, how about you spin for this? Spin for this. Spin for this. Spin for this. Spin, spin, spin. Yippee! Good boy. I just got a pop-up. I get assigned a Pokemon. You can! So what I do is I just kind of like vibe, and I just pick whatever Pokemon. Oh, good spin. Good spin. I just pick whatever Pokemon first comes to my head. I love my Orbeez. Yeah. I like, Orby, of course. I love all your tuxedo babies. You got your Orby, you got Kami. I love your babies. Oh, and obviously, Mr. Crowley. Was my cats yesterday. Patchy, which is my tortie, was on my back, and the other two between my legs. Could not get comfortable to save my life. Couldn't even get into bed. Just slept on top of the bed. Oh, really? I slept on the couch last night because I was so nervous I wouldn't wake up in time to go to Target this morning. And Boo, again, had to sleep under the covers because he not growls. He goes like this. Whenever I don't, or he'll go like, if I don't get him under the covers. He's so spoiled, but that's a reflection of me. He's literally the worst. But that's a reflection of me because I spoiled him, and That's all on me. I take full responsibility for that, for his brattiness. But oh my god, so cute. Tell him I love him. Tell Orby I love him so much. What was I saying? I don't remember. Oh yeah, and then midnight was right here. But it was nice because it was super cold last night, and so I really enjoyed the extra heat. I'll tell you my top 5. Wait, no, let me assign you first. Let me assign you one first, and then I'll then tell me your top 5. Oh, Moose. I think the is like a big pit bull thing. I'll be right back. Oh, cool. Pogo is finally releasing Mega Mewtwo. Really? Oh, hell yeah. He blinks in response. Alright. Alright. What Pokemon? I'm getting Team Rocket. I'm gonna go Snorlax. I know I just said Team Rocket, but I'm gonna go Snorlax. Groan and whimper so much, yeah. And then they do the Mlelms is what they're called. Jetski! Mwah. Dwayne. Mwah. Think of the forehead kissy. Wait, really? Wait, who are your top 5? I need to know now. Ugh. Oh my god. Ugh. I don't know how this cat hair got all over my face. Go back and...
Somewhere deep inside of these bones,
What the fudge, Dwayne?
emptiness
What?
began to grow. There's something out there far from
Think of the
my
fine
home.
gifted sons?
A longing
What the heck?
I've
Thank you for the 5 gifted
never
subbies! They were getting sub to Desi Bay, Lulu Bubs, Godly, Oni Games, and Rat Bat Rat. Also, hi, Jesky. I hope you're doing so good, sweet angel face. Happy weekend! You're 6'5", 360 pounds, bald man. Oh, so big boy. Wait, and he's top 10. Okay, I'll take it. Give me your top 5. Dwayne, I have a very important question for you. Oh, shite. Actually, hold on. Oh, sorry. Squeaky toy. Oh, fucking there's squeaky toys everywhere. Pick up your fucking toys, boo. What was I gonna say? Oh, yeah. Pick a color. I had to get more green. Do you want a pink pussy, orange pussy, yellow pussy, green pussy, blue pussy, or purple pussy? Who the heck did that? Think of a legendary or mythical Pokemon. Let me know when you decide so I can randomly guess. Okay, I got one. Wait, legendary or mythical? I have one. Go. Pink pussy for the win. Yes, I agree. Darkrai. Wrong. Oh, here, I'll put it in the mod chat so that they know what I'm thinking of. Oh wait, okay, so you told me your top 5. Hold on one second. Giratina, Darkrai, Mimikyu, Gengar. Yeah, Mewtwo was gonna be my second guess. Because I was thinking Team Rocket, I was gonna say Mewtwo, and was like, that's too stereotypical. No way I was gonna guess Mewtwo, that's so funny. So, Giratina, Darkrai, Mimikyu, Gengar. Okay, perfect, excellent Pokemon. I was like, girls, mom needs some bed space. Girls, ladies! Oh my god, that's so funny. Yeah, oh, Dwayne, every time. Pink pussy. Oh, okay, thank you, Ritzy. Alright, get another guess. Escape. I put it in the mod chat, so they'll know if I'm lying or not. What'd you say? Oh, pink. You're welcome. I honestly, Ritzy, I would have been disappointed if you didn't say that. I almost grabbed my pickle chapstick instead of my permanent marker. Hoopla! No. Or Hoopa. No, not Hoopa either. Why did I think of Groot from a Disco Me saying, girls? I've seen that movie. Not Groot. What's his name? Oh, Gru! His name is Gru, right? Yeah, Gru. Gorals. Is that it? Gorals. Oh! Oni, enjoy your subby! That emote is so cute. pasta with hamburger sauce tonight. What shape is the pasta? Because my mouth is already salivating, so yeah, smash. Dwayne the ginger. You have one more guess. Yeah, I need to know the shape of the pasta. Ooh, I know what I'm gonna do for you. Oh, is this so like ew, ew? Okay, Dwayne, forgive me. Dwayne, forgive me. I'm not an artist, okay? She did her best, and that's all that matters. Third guess, going broke on this. Jirachi! No, it is not Jirachi. I picked Rayquaza because Hoenn is my favorite generation. That was fun, though. That was fun. I like that game. We should play it again. I really want to take a video of Orbit doing his purr talks, but Stan is gamer and is laughing so loudly. Tell him to shut up. Tell him to shut the fuck up, Stanley. What like gets me going is this. It's already almost halfway through the year. Okay, bye. Us Two Big Gang was supposed to live each other up. No, Dwayne, I hope you like your kitty cat. I was trying to make a Pikachu. He looks so like, you know, nightmare paralysis demon. You know what I mean? It's the thought that counts, right? Oh, that is, that's something. You love it? Oh, some of that ought to. Stop having fun with your friends. I can't hear the kitty. Yeah, that would be a good thing to say. Tony the Tiger from Team... Shut the fuck up.
Oh, somewhere deep inside of these bones, an emptiness.
Dwayne's like, run it back. Run it back. You get another chance.
Something out there far from my
Eevee's your favorite, as it should be. Who's your favorite evolution? What the fuck was that, Pixel? Ew, I just licked my finger. As you be nice to me. Dwayne, thank you for another 5 gifted subs. Tombst, Shadow Monkey, Wreck, Venom, Lady Mo, and Venus Flytrap. Thank you so much. You get to pick another pussy. Let me know. Pink, orange, yellow, green, blue, or purple. You did great, sweetie. Thanks. How would you rate the game? Oh, so far, Oni? I think it's good. There's, I think the biggest thing that I would change is I would really want some sort of, like, HUD on, like, the top or the bottom. You know how, like, Skyrim has? Like, some sort of, like, directional HUD. I get so lost in this game. I would love to have, like, a north, south, east, west. Or some sort of, like, objective tracker. That is something that I would personally really want, but it's still a great game. Rayquaza would have been maybe your 5th or 7th guess. I like Rayquaza. I love it. Kyurgi is probably my favorite legendary. Your last week's stream where you reached almost 600. Yeah, it was over 600. It was like 600 in a day. It was ridiculous. Licking fingers, yeah, it just happened to get in there. Biggest struggle is BG3. Oh, is it getting lost? There's a map, right? I'm not crazy, right? Yo, that big softer. Oh, that big softer. I love your autocorrect today. Yeah, last week was actually. Oh, is it Rootsy? You'll get used to it, right? Dwayne, did you tell me a color? Because if you did, I wasn't listening to you. What do you want? Autocorrect is killing me, yeah. And then you'll say something, and then Automod will get you. If autocorrect doesn't get you, Automod will. Pink Pussy Club, or do you want to get into the Orange Pussy Club? You choose? Well, we only have green and pink so far this month. I'm gonna do blue. Blue Pussy Club. Boop. I want the world to know. Want 3 guesses on my favorite legend or mythical? I will do my best. But I don't really know a lot of like the legendaries or mythicals. So I'm only gonna guess what I know. Zygarde, Darkrai. I don't even know if Zygarde counts. Zygarde, Darkrai, and Deoxys. Those are my 3 guesses. Shut up! Hold your breast! Blue is my favorite color. Wait, what colorblind are you? That is, I'm sharing this on stream. I didn't even notice it at first. Oh my god. So, Bravo Penguin just made this of Boo. Powdered donut Boo donuts. It took me like a whole 30 seconds of looking at this to figure out that this was Boo on here, because I thought this was actually like art on the box. So this is so fudging cute. Thank you so much for that, Bravo Penguin. That is so cute. I am going to keep that forever. Save image. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Save image. Boo powdered donut. Thank you. I love that so much. I need that on some sort of merch or something. Enjoy Lurky Turkey! Oh, it's Lugia? Oh, Lugia is dope. You can't see greens, but it affects my blues too. That makes sense. It sucks, though, because greens and blues are so pretty. Sorry. I mean, they're ugly. You're not missing out on anything. I'm sorry. Dwayne, that ginger. Oh, that was like the prettiest ginger I've ever written. Oh, you're gonna like that. Alright, what is she gonna do this time? I'm sorry. I'm in a weird mood. So you're gonna get this. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm not gonna lie, this came out better than the fucking Pikachu one, so I actually gotta like it. I was going for cursed, and it's actually kind of cute. Hi, Nightmare. Nightmare. Mwah. Think of the forehead kissy. Go to the brain bank. Oh, wait until you see how pretty I wrote Ginger. It's so pretty. Also, I'm sorry. Like, look at the G. That's a slutty little G if I've ever seen one. I love him. I'm gonna call him Mike Wazowski. Always watching Mike Wazowski. Always watching. But he's so cute, is he not? Also, Nightmare, happy weekend. Oh my god. Don't you dare apologize. I've been busy with the new job. How is it? Do you love it? Dwayne, I have a very important question for you. How do you get cat hair off your lips? Okay, that's not that's not the question. My question for you is vodka? Oh my god. Vodka, Pink Whitney, tequila, Malort, or rum? Oh my god. Nightmare, I love that for you. We love a fun job and we love good coworkers. I'm just gonna slap the cat hair into my mouth. It won't go away, Queen. I wanted to go. It's like right. Ugh. Okay, whatever. It's fine. I don't even care. I don't even care. If I say I don't care, then it won't bother me anymore. Cat hair and glitter. Now imagine if it was a glitter cat. It's insane. Yeah. And sand. Ugh. Sex on the beach? No, thank you. Have I ever had sex on the beach? Has anyone ever had, not the drink, but has anyone ever had, like, on the beach? No, thank you. I have had. Do I hate to try it? Wait, sex on the beach? Dwayne, pick a thing for me. You have? Let's see. Yeah. Dwayne, do you want a vodka? A Pink Whitney? A Malort? A tequila? Or rum? Sensory hell. See, Pepper Goblin, you get it. You just don't. You accept the cat hair being there. No, I want it out. Until you wear chapstick before body cupping. No! And I feel like, because horse hair is so, forgive me, coarse, that it just, like, gets everywhere. Because I love the struggle. I'm so glad. I'm joking. Oh, you have 99? Every time someone calls me queen, I go like this in my head. Like my pics period emote. I don't know. I just feel so, like, fabulous. It was fine. We were a little drunk, but later we sobered up and realized the bits of sand and salt and such and made things not comfortable. Yeah, I just can't imagine that level of friction inside. As you should. I also have to, like, suck in my cheeks too and do a little, you know, multiple types of crabs is so funny. Ha. Pew, 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 pew. Never enough towels. Don't forget to bring your towel. I was having such a good day today. I'm joking. Thank you so much for the subbies. That's half. Okay, cool. Yas Beach! Video from ages ago. I don't know if I know that one, but I bet if I saw it, I would understand it. Also, a Kekleon's in chat. Give it to me! Hi, Vicky! Vicky, I feel so badly because I feel like you said hello like 10 minutes ago and you got Donawald and I ignored you. So everyone, can you guys say hello, Vicky? Hi, little Miss Vicky, on my behalf because I'm a bad streamer and I don't know how to say hello to people. You do a shot with me? I'll wait. Solution to sand. Don't have sexy time near sand. Got it. Hi, Vicky. Thanks, guys. Oh, in the Vine days, I missed Vine. I never got to be a part of that, and I didn't download TikTok until 2020. W student, very good job. Thanks. I wrote, my teacher likes D's nuts. I missed what you said. Okay, good. You nothing. Don't worry about it. Ready? Shut up. Don't say true. Disgusting. Salud. Salud. Oh, I just breathed in. Oh, why is tequila so gross? Oh, it's so bad. Oh my god, imagine. So bad. Imagine I didn't close my lips all the way and I just like squirted G Fuel over my microphone. That would like, oh man, that'd be so funny. I'm choking. You can have it. Here, I'll baby bird it into your mouth. Really? I asked the guy at Benny's and I said, what's the best, cheapest tequila? And he told me this one. Alright, so go with the silver tequila, is what you're saying. You guys can always do shots with me. I didn't close my lips all the way once. There's so many jokes there. There's so many jokes there. Silver's definitely better. Well, where were all of you guys when I was at Benny's Beverage Depot? Also, I'm pretty sure the guy that was at the store was flirting with me. I wasn't into it, but it made me feel good to get flirted with. I'm gonna text away. Yeah, but you weren't there. You weren't there to like... you didn't ask us. I'm gonna at everyone in the Discord. Tell me what to get. That'd be so fun. Actually, I would do that. I'd be so annoying. Espolón is a good mid-price range tequila. Okay. How... ¿Cuántos? You're shooting Fireball? Ew, you can keep that. Ooh. Fireball is what I would drink if someone paid me a lot of money because it's gross. Not my favorite, but I'm doing Kirkland together. Oh, you know what? But yeah, but I mean, Kirkland's cheap, right? White Lightning Shine, like moonshine. Sinfire, what's Sinfire? Hater. I couldn't hate it. I couldn't hate it anymore, Kyle. Dr. Pepper, that ish. Wait, Dr. Pepper with Fireball? Vicky, I must ask you, why would you ruin Dr. Pepper by putting Fireball in it? A boozy milkshake? What are you gonna make, Nova? Oh, that felt great. Yes, straight up no flavor, just straight shine. But what about gay shine? Great question. It's like $26. Oh, really? For 1.75? That ain't too shabby. That's pretty fudging good. You have Tipsy Cow ice cream? I didn't know they made ice cream. I've had Tipsy Cow before. Because I used to work at Benny's, so I used to have great access to liquor. So when I was like, question, do you guys want me to be honest to you? Do you guys want me to lie? do you guys want honest Pixel, or do you guys want me to lie to you? Yeah, Fireball's just gross. Do you guys want truth time or lie time? Honest? Anyone else? Anyone else have any preferities? Dr. Pepper's a chaser? Okay. Yum. Honest? Oh, fuck you guys. Alright, so between the ages of, like, 18 and 21 is when I, like, used to drink a lot of liquor. If you guys told me to lie, I would have said, oh, between 21 and 22. So between the ages of 18 and 21, I super legally drank a lot of liquor. Like, I used to bring college days out, yeah, and a little bit in high school. Oh, man, I do as I say, not as I do. I used to put vodka in my Propel water bottles because Propel has, like, some sort of, like, you know, Propel has that, like viscosity, you know what I'm saying? And so if you mixed it with vodka, you didn't really notice, or no one would really notice it because, like, the viscosity of Propel. And so I used to sneak that into high school, and I had late period lunch. I had period 13 lunch, which is, like, the last lunch that you can have because the last classes of the day were classes 14, 15. So it was literally the second to last thing that I had. And so I would just drink. And then I would go to work. At my pizza place. Yeah, okay, so Chicago, Detroit. And then I also super legally drank in college. A lot. That's where I discovered Everclear. And we made... oh my god, so I've told this story before, so I'm sorry if you've already heard it. But I went to a Halloween party freshman year with a bunch of band people. Shout out to the Drumline. Oh, there was such cute Drumline guy there that I was trying to get with. We did make out a little bit, but he was dressed as a Smurf, so I had blue makeup all over my face, but that's alright. Anywho, I digress. They only had... Shut up! They only had, Everclear. Like, why are you gonna host a party and not have, like, any liquor? But either they ran out or they only had Everclear left. Because this was the marching band people, and we always had Everclear on us because our instruments would freeze, and we would put... Shut the fuck up, Dingos. And we put Everclear in our instruments. We would mix it with our valve fluid to keep it from freezing. It didn't always work because it was cold. It was, like, negative 40 degrees in Montana. But they only had Everclear. And so my first time having Everclear was... a screwdriver, so orange juice and Everclear. I rode my bike to my friend's house, from my dorm to my friend's house, and this is also the friend's house that I got hit by a car. Also another story I've told on stream before. And needless to say, I slept over, and I did not, well, we didn't boink, don't worry. I didn't lose my virginity until I was 20. I was a late bloomer. And, what was I saying? Sorry, you guys didn't need to know that. Anywho, you guys said Truth Pixel, and yeah, I slept over that night because I was not gonna ride my bike home wasted on Everclear. Why did I already know that? That I didn't lose my virginity until I was 20? I've told that on stream before. You had a broken screwdriver. Shut up. Hi, Alice. Mwah. Thank you for the 4. I can see. I was literally just thinking about you. That's so funny. Like, literally, like, 5 minutes ago. I had drinked at my 13th. Did you really? Which is super legal. Yeah. Holy. For the record, I do not condone underage drinking. I'm going to put it out there. I do not condone underage drinking. I have done many stupid things. One of those things is underage drinking. So do not underage drink. Broken screwdriver is super funny. Ben is so wild and so unhinged. Not gonna lie, all of my wildest times have always been band related. Me was band and theater. I'm really glad it's like 10 o'clock at night. I'm really hoping my dad... Ooh, I'm gonna check the viewer list. Dad, please don't be in chat. Dad! Oh, my dad's in chat! Ah! My brother's in chat. Remember, my brother doesn't have the audio on. Yikes! So anyways, my dad's in chat, but I hope he's in bed. Sorry, Dad. Alice, thank you for the 3 stream streak. Although I should stay away from them due to the sugars. Wait, which one? Oh, the screwdriver? Is there like 0 sugar orange juice or something? I don't know. Maybe stream is muted. God, I hope so. I'm going to my parents' house tomorrow for family dinner because we're celebrating my parents' birthdays because my dad's birthday was last week. My mom's birthday is next week. And so we're celebrating their birthdays together. And it's probably like my mom and my dad just like looking at their computer like, I'll let you guys know if they talk to me. I'm joking. They're not gonna care. They probably have already heard all this stuff before. And my parents do know about my underage drinking because my friends tagged me and oh my god, we had a My Little Pony themed party in college once. It was My Little Pony themed. I was dressed up as Rarity, obviously, because Rarity's the best pony. And there, we drank a lot. And my friends posted pictures of our party on Facebook, and they tagged me on it. And my dad's like, so how was your party? And I was like, what do you mean? So they know about my underage drinking. I'll party for your parents. I don't have any, but I'll drink for yours. My parents are pretty cool. They're pretty fudging cool. I don't condone underage drinking, but do as I say, not as I do. Exactly. I'm a professional idiot. Yeah! I had drank in my 13s and more than once, but things were different back then. Yeah. Yeah, we definitely do not condone or encourage underage drinking. That's my virginity at 17, but speaking honestly, it was a shitty moment because the girl left me the following day. Really? I'm so sorry. Mine was with my boyfriend at the time, so it was a pretty decent experience. Although it was outside in Montana, and it was in the forest, and oh my god, the stars. You could, like, see 1,000,001 stars because there's, like, 0 light pollution in Montana. It was so stunning. And I think we heard a bear, and so we, like, stopped quickly after we were done and packed up the car and left. But yeah, that was fun. So anyways, we're playing Clair Obscur Expedition 33, I guess. Not really. As you guys know, I am a gamer. I'm a yapper first. I'm a gamer second. And I hope you guys have enjoyed our 30-minute commercial break in between gameplay. I am editing down these playthroughs and posting them on my YouTube. I did post part 1 today. I will have part 2 edited, ready for upload probably on Monday. And then Tuesday, maybe, for part 3. Montana sounds like the best, especially for the bear encounter. So, we actually used to get emails during school. We'd get emails letting us know that there were certain, like, animals loose on campus. And I think we had what did we have loose on campus once? We've had bears on campus before. We've had moose. Like, not moose. Elk? I don't know. Something big with antlers. We've had bears. They just said, like, hey, just so you guys know, there's been a bear on campus. Like, just, like, be aware. Don't, like, fuck with it. Or whatever. Montana was great, though. Yes, fighter. I did. One time. One time. Yeah, I can't remember which one it was. But we did have one of those on campus. Yeah, it's a commercial I never skip. Whatever. We ain't here for the games. Really? Vicky, you're gonna give me a complex. Whatever. I'm not gonna lie. I have no idea where to go. See, this is why I need the little... Okay, this looks weird. Sorry. Hold on. I need to do this again. This looks weird. Anyways. I have no idea where I'm going. But you did it. I want to be like you. Oh. I hope no one would ever say that to me. I really hope. Oh, I forgot I rested, so these fudgers respawn. Actually, I'm okay with that. Have I ever gone up there? I want to go up there. How much I going up there? Because I don't think I've fought that guy before. But this is good. I'm gonna get more combat practice. What were we talking about? What games you play tonight? Just Clair Obscure Expedition 38. Just these two. Or, sorry, just these two. Just this one. This is one, Big Rob. Yeah, my closed captions are wildly inaccurate. I'm pretty bad at enunciating my words, and I try to... Did I say Expedition 38? I mean Expedition 33. Sorry, I don't know how to read. What was I gonna say? I'm trying to enunciate better, but I keep forgetting. They're both very identifying. Oh, between mooses and elks? I don't know, because it's been so long. I'm a 33-year-old lady, which is funny that if I were in Clair Obscure Expedition 33, I'd be dead. I'd be gommaged. Yes! Oh, Vicky, I got so many, and I'm gonna post a YouTube video of my haul too. Expedition 367. Good night, Dragon Santa Blaze. I had the best night ever. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Auntie is very easy to identify. Wait, Auntie? Yes! I got so much good stuff. I'll post a picture in the Discord too. What am I doing? Oh, this one.
Take him down.
Yeah. 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 We'll do this one.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to parry this one. I missed. Oh! I got that one though. I got that. I got the second parry. I'll take it.
Get ready.
Ooh, I missed that one. I missed that one too. Damn. I was late in the first one, early in the second one. That's right.
Flow.
That's all right, love. Shut up, Jasper. Oh my god. Cool, 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 cool. Let us... Shut up, Jasper. Perfect, cool. I need a new PC so bad. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yeah, Chloe, I feel like I've learned from my stupidity. Like, I definitely feel like I'm still dumb, but I'm not nearly as dumb as I used to be. Does he jump down? Is that what happens? Yeah, okay. That's why. Okay, how much aura did I get just from walking up to him? That was pretty cool, right? I wonder if I can attack that guy now that I've given him his like little thing. You know, I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try attacking him because maybe that'll help me. Yes, slay, sis. Immolation. Immolation. No, I'm reading. Oh my god.
Get ready.
Alright, I'm gonna try to parry again. No, I'm gonna do. Nope. Nope. Alright, damn, I missed it. Damn it! I was earlier than late. Damn. Damn. I'll just attack because he'll be dead. Sure. It's so fucking nice. I got a little more oomph to it. Yeah, I like Baba Yaga. The Were Elk. Scary. But I like the Baba Yaga. Did I go this way? Wait! I don't think I went this way yet. Did she find the way to go? Oh my cheaper golly gee whiz. How did I not see this before? Am I?
It's forging
That's stupid.
something. So they have intelligence.
I was going to press our right bumper, and then it did that, so I don't have first strike, which is unfortunate. Do this. That did not take away any of your shields, which is unfortunate. Actually, I'm just gonna... There we go. And then we're going to do this to you. Wunderbar. Skills. Mark. You.
Take him down.
Perfect. You. Applies to burn. Yather! Alright. Yeah! Yeah! Okay. I finally dodged. Yippee. Mira!
I'm ready.
Mwah! Oof. I got stunned.
Push forward.
Damn, okay. That was unfortunate. Mira, mwah, thank you for the forehead kissy. Good morning! Good morning, Angel. Everyone say hello to Mira, lovely. Oh, I see that there was commands put in the chat, so I'm not going to scroll up in chat. So if I miss this message, I'm sorry, but there is something I probably should not see, so I'm not going to read chat. Just in case.
My sword is death.
Danger!
Yeah! Yeah! Okay, I got one of them. Just a one. Oh! Oh no. Shield his allies. Okay, that's fine.
Not looking good.
He has like 2 ussies, by the way. You're almost dead. Do you have anything that heals you? Heals the target ally by 35%. Fire damage. Let's do that. Woo! I like that. Let's do this. Okay, cool. Yo, Oni! Mwah! Think of the forehead kissy. That wasn't so bad. That was not so bad. Luna's almost dead, but that's fine. I still have this cat hair in my mouth, too. Mods, you guys are so hot. Thank you guys so much. Hello? Hello? Anonymous? Thank you so much for giving this up to Chaotic. Thank you so much, Anonymous. Enjoy your Expedition 33 badge. Chaotic, enjoy your 90. Count them. Your 90 emotes, your ad-free viewing, and your sub badge. What the hecky? Tub you get. That's insane. Thank you guys so much. Also, we just hit our weekly sub goal because of that. What the fudgy wudgy? Why is everyone being so nice to me today? Next person that's nice to me is gonna end stream. Ah, I'm joking. God, this cat hair is like, I can't get it off my mouth. Oh, I was so hoping that I'd find camp here. Oh, wrong button. Rest, please, because Luna's about to die. 0 points. 3 points. Yeah. Nope. Yeesh. Don't be nice to me ever.
Hello.
Okay. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. I do have anonymous follows on, but I see you, and I appreciate you. Welcome in. Well, we'll save all of those. Okay, let us. I think I got some new weapons. I don't remember how to change weapons though. Is it this? Okay, so I have a level 3. Oomst. Oomst. That is a dope looking weapon. This right here. Okay, and then.
Go on. Give me.
What?
I like being nice. Tuba gang.
Tuba gang. What's up, Zerg? Zerg, happy, nice titties. I haven't heard any complaints yet. Zerg, happy weekend. Also, Dwayne, thank you so much for the 100 bits. What the fudgies? Thank you so much. Next person that's nice to me gets me on. Okay. I did that, right? No problem. Rootsy tootsy pootsy. Oh, actually, do I have any more pictos? No more pictos. Alright. So I think everybody's good now. Yes. Happy weekend. Don't be nice to me. Ever.
Nice.
Staggering attack. Oh! Increases break damage on base attack. Okay, come. Oh. Oh, wait, no, wrong button. I can just do this here. You. Perfect. Alright, now everybody has a pictos. Cool.
Nice.
This game is so pretty. Pictos. What time is it? 10:15. Okay. Sheboygan. Oh my god. I didn't realize this is a horror game. Yeah. Yeah. First strike.
Let the ink flow.
Yes, ma'am. No. Yeah. You. Ooh. You. You. You.
I'll do
Alright.
it.
Can I dodge this? Please. Yeah! Yeah! Oh! It's been a while since I got a double dodge. I'll take it. Smashes the ground. Okay. Ooh. Oh! Ah, damn. Sorry.
Storm is coming.
I never saw that turn before. I'm sorry. Low fire damage and applies 3 burn. Slows target 1 hit. Applies 3 burn. Oh, cool. He's dead. Cool. Look at the damage. Which target is burning. No, what was this one? Yes.
My sword is death.
Yeah, I think that's really good. And then you.
Chroma is flowing.
She did it! I've been adulting for 10 years now. I still don't know how to adult. Oh, I haven't finished the new season yet. Why is every time I order Uber Eats to work, I always says they're on a bicycle? They never are, but I wonder every time. The last couple times I've ordered DoorDash, which isn't often, but if I do, I've noticed that I get a lot of people that have like female names. Like their name is like Marguerite or I don't know, Shannon or Maria, and it's always a man that shows up. And I'm not gonna lie, pisses me off so much. It was like, because if I'm expecting a lady to show up, I don't want like
Well, that will help.
some, I don't know, some middle-aged white dude in a baseball cap coming up to my house, you know? I don't know. I think there's like a conspiracy theory, like a tin hat conspiracy theory that like men do that so that they can like potentially get more orders, and I don't know, that makes me, you can report those. Can I really? Because I have cameras that show that it is clearly a gentleman and not a lady. I didn't know that. That's really good to know. Because it does make me super uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Ooh, actually. Sure, why not? I don't think I've used this move yet. Holy fudge! Zeno Drago! Thank you for giving sub to the Pixel. Zeno, enjoy your Expedition 33 badge, and the Pixel, enjoy your 90, count 'em, your 90 emotes to add free view and add your sub badge. Holy moly, guacamole. Thank you so much. To be gifted. If it does accept you, they use others to do it for them. Interesting. As they should. We need more pixels. I've done it before. Because, I don't know, it just, don't lie to me, you know? You know what I mean? I don't like liars. Well, no one's brick. Where's this one? Oh, that was a little overkill, wasn't it? Oh. What's up? Oh, shite. Sorry, I was not paying attention. Nice, okay.
Ready to evade.
Hold on. Ready to evade? I don't know if you'd be so sure about that. I missed. Okay. Whatever. What's up, Salonji? I hope I said your name right. Whichever's using accounts aren't theirs. Like if theirs gets banned. Shut the front door. You guys are so much smarter than I am. That's really gross though, that people will do that. That's good to know. It's very good to know. I'm just gonna attack you. I'm just gonna attack you. Lock in? Yeah. You guys are so sweet. Why is everyone being so nice tonight? I'm start punishing you all.
Interesting.
Color of Lumina to additional Lumina point. Okay. I'm not maximizing my Lumina stuff. I'm gonna have to like learn that more.
You can use that.
Sorry, that was my stomach. She growling.
Expedition 68. Elodie.
Elodie. Dead by Daylight. It's a
miracle any of us survived. We were caught in the maelstrom.
Solange.
From wave to wave.
Thank you.
We lost the moon and the stars, condemned to a never-ending darkness of punishing rain and raging clouds. The Paintress sent a storm to overcome us. But it is we who have overcome the storm. After surviving that, crushing those Neverons was almost an afterthought. Strength and resilience, it's how we survived that storm. And it's how we grabbed victory. It wasn't even a battle. It was an ink bath. We squeezed those Nevs dry. But this new one looks tougher than the others.
Interesting. Interesting. How goes your expedition? So far, so good. My problem is, boy, can I not shut up? And so I keep yapping. And so I have like 10 hours of like in-game time in this game, but really only like maybe like an hour, hour and a half of actual like progress. It's bad. What is that? Okay, let's go. Merde. That means shit en français.
Avoid those at all costs.
I want to fight him. He looks kind of cool. He looks kind of cool. Can I walk into these? I can. You've not listened to a single one? Alright, the last mime I fought did not go well. Ugh!
Great.
Alright, thanks, lady. Should I fight her? It's crucial to the experience. Oh, I can't shut up. Solange. Girl, if you were gonna follow me, I'm not gonna lie, I would have ended stream. I would have ended stream. Okay, that was terrifying. Holy shite. I know I wasn't here at the beginning of the stream. What goodies did you get at Target? So Candy, so many. So many. I'm gonna post a picture and I'm gonna do a YouTube video, but I got the keyboard, I got some water bottles here. I got a Slowpoke water bottle. I got the perfumes, the keycaps, all of the stickers, the lip schmackers. Ugh. Yeah, I'm gonna post a big old picture. Ugh. Guys, should I fight this guy? Okay, 1's in chat to fight the mime, 2's in chat to choose life. 1 to fight mime, 2's to choose life. Okay, Candy. Okay. Okay, Kyle. Such a hater. Oh, you're such a hater. Oh, it does that. Even if you say unpin at the end of stream or something, it does that. It just hates us. Okay, so Pepper Goblin and Bravo Penguin, you guys are my favorites. I was gonna see his mime be murdered. Alright, well, you come to the wrong person. This is gonna go so bad. Round 1. Fight! The music is so good though.
Let us stain them. Feel the burn.
What's up, Haku? Do we take a shot every 5 gifted? Not every 5 gifted, but because that's against TOS. But if something happens, then I might celebrate with a shot. You know what I mean? Get his ass out your right. Hi, Panda Pies. Panda Pies. Mwah. They were the forehead kissy. Hello. Is that all it takes to do shots? And technically it's against TOS to do that, but sometimes I'll just celebrate with shots for certain things. You know what I mean? Haku! Mwah. They were the forehead kissy. Ooh, apply shell, reducing damage taken to up to 3 allies for 3 turns. Yeah, we're gonna do that.
Shields out.
Ooh, wrong way. Shell is a buff that reduces by 20% the damage received by the character. Okay, yeah, that's good. I think that's pretty good. Hello? What? Solange! Thank you for giving a sub to Mime. Mime, enjoy your 90 emotes ad reviewed and your sub
me
badge.
that
Also,
badge.
Solange,
And I
enjoy
hope you
your
enjoy this
Expedition
absolutely
33 sub
peak
badge or
game.
Twitch badge. Also, Hunter Badger, thank you for the 5 months. Enjoy your 90 emotes ad reviewed sub badge and Expedition 33 Twitch badge. The badge is awesome. You've been modeling it all night, Dwayne, and I love that. Thank you for that. Thank you for modeling it for us. The music is so good, guys. Oh, wrong button. Sorry. I did heal, though. Shite. Yeah, I'm doing, like, 0 damage. I'm kind of getting nervous. Oh, keep pressing along. I'm getting so nervous. Oh, the mime goes next, guys. She goes next.
Please survive. Let's spill some ink.
You got this, Trust. God, the music is so good though. I don't think I got this, homies. Oh my god.
Let's dance.
I'm gonna try parrying next. I've been dodging. I'm gonna try parrying. Parry. Alright, this one's fast. This one's fast. It is Shadowheart Rootsy! It is! So I'm not gonna retry that, and whoever told me to fight the mime is now banned. I knew I was gonna lose though. Round 2, fight! Fatality. No. Oh. So this character right here is God's favorite princess. AKA Shadowheart. Gives some great rewards. You know what? I will fight him later. I'm not banned. Yippee! Damn, that's crazy. What is a difficulty you want? I think normal. So not the easiest difficulty, but I think just like the normal difficulty. Pixel Cells modeling. All right, give me Lune back. All right. Let us follow the abyss. Aw, man. Alright. Brother, help me. Whatever. I cannot be contained. I'm God's favorite princess. Oh. Was there something I missed? Ah, yes. Open your eyes. Why, Sheboygan? So I'm gonna go not that way. That looks friendly. No, 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 no. You guys are liars. You guys are a bunch of stinking liars. Ah! Oh, you're such a twat waffle, ain't ya? Alright, so I was about to say that I was gonna stop at the next flag and I was gonna end stream. What if I did that? You guys can't stop me. Alright, you know what? Actually, we just rested. Let's go fight this guy, and then I'll end it. Oh, actually, let me stop raids for an hour, because I don't want to get raided. Because I end. I can try to stop. Alright, let's fight this big guy just see, because I just saved. And healed. Come on, bitch. Come on, bitch. Come on, bitch. Oh, Dwayne, no, you're so Gucci. Because you literally... You just missed me opening up all my, I just burped, it tastes like tequila. I opened up a bunch of my Target Pokemon stuff, yapped, and then played this for 2 hours. We can't stop you, but we can cry. We can cry about it. That's your fault. You know what? The guilt trip might work though. Less than an hour for it. Oh, yeah. So we had. I only got like 2 hours of sleep today because of I couldn't go to sleep last night after stream, and then I was up early for the Target drop. And then we had Dungeons and Dragons today, so I started 2 hours later than, or 1.5 hours later than I normally do. Yay, Mira! Hell yeah, gamer! Hell yeah! Oh, can I shoot you? Do you have anything that explodes? Nope. Okay, well, this is gonna go so well. That did more damage than the mime, so I'll take that. I'll absolutely take that. eat, Samael? What do you mean? Do I get her back? Do I get her back, or is she just like dead? Okay, so
Ready to evade. Ready to evade.
do I get my character back, or what's happening? Exhausted. Exhausted states the fact that prevents a character from gaining AP from any source. Only if you kill or break him. Ooh, okay. Oh, I don't go next though. Feel the burn. A 4-hit combo. Oh god, oh god. I don't know how this. Oh my god, oh my god. Okay. Considering that was my first one, I'm really impressed that I dodged 3 out of 4 of those. Dude rolls. Mwah. Hunter Badger. Mwah. Think with a forehead kissy. He's pretty hungry. Bastard. Oh, I don't have enough AP. Do I have an item that gives me AP? Doesn't this take my turn though? Fuck! Okay, that's fine.
Feel the burn.
Hi, dude rolls. Welcome in. Oh! Oh! Oh, I those two. Oh, okay.
Get ready.
Okay. Okay, that wasn't so bad. I think I can do this now. Yes, okay. I forgot how this works though. Oh, I haven't used this item or thing in a while. For those that come after. Oh! Oh! Oh, Mayel! Welcome back, Love Bug. And she has all of her health.
Good.
That's suspicious. That's weird.
On me.
Okay.
Take him down.
No longer stunned. When were you stunned in the first place? Oh, because of me. I made you stunned. Oh, I was reading. Sorry, I forgot. Quick time events suck. I'm kind of locked in right now. No, no! Oh, that's fine. He had low AP anyway. Patchy! Patchy, thank you so much for the sub! Enjoy your 90 emotes, your ad-free viewing, and your sub badge, and your Expedition 33 Twitch badge. What the fudge? Thank you so much. They're weak against Thunder. Thunder. Okay, I actually think I have Thunder. Somewhere. This. I think I actually might kill him. Maybe. Maybe. Oh, poo. I don't have enough for that. Alright, let's just do this then. Oh my god, I think I might get him. No way. Not emotional damage. Shut up. That's so funny. I think I take emotional damage, somebody me. I didn't. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie. I thought I was gonna die and I was gonna just like end the stream after that, but we won. So, get shit on. I am the best Expedition 33 player that's ever existed. And I will die on the hill. Alright, well now I guess I'll go save again. Well, that wasn't so bad. I did get eaten though. Great job. Thanks, guys. I went into that battle thinking I was going to lose, and I thought that'd be a really funny way, like a funny haha way to end stream on. But I lived. Oops. All right, I'm gonna end stream. Do you guys mind? Do you guys mind? Do you guys want to do marbles, or do you guys just want to end? What do you guys think? Do you guys want to do marbles on stream? Marbles on stream. Yes! I'm so good at marbles. Let's do marbles. We haven't done marbles in a while. Alright, let's snooze all of our ads, because I have 3 snoozes. I'm going to use all my snoozes. Wait, what'd you say? Kinda to let you sleep? No, I'll be fine. I haven't done marbles in so long. Let's do marbles. Thanks for being so kind, though. I'll stay in the Expedition 33 category, though, in case anyone else wants the badge. Oh, sorry, wrong thing. Random! Yippee! I know, it's been a minute since we've done any marbles. Also, if I've missed anyone's messages, I'm so sorry. I don't know how to read. I dropped out of college. Did I do race? Wait. This is a race, right? Like, this is a normal race? What was that intro? What was I about to say? Yeah, guys, Expedition Point Play. Let us do a prediction. How many balls will live? Let's see. We have 13 balls right now. So let's see. 0 to 7, 8 plus. We'll do 2 minutes. All right. How many balls will live? Will 0 to 7 balls live, or will 8 plus balls live once? I had 13 balls once. Indeed. Doesn't indeed. Does it look like a GP? Is GP Grand Prix? I got 2 balls, make up double, playing 2v8 with a partner. Really? And his brother and I died? Oh, I'm so sorry. Who were you going against? I know we were going to do DBD today, but I'm just so tired. I really wanted to play Expedition 33. Oh, Dragon, do you want cat or dog? Yeah, there's Jasper's here. Do you want cat or dog treats? For Boo. Excellent. Excellente. Boo's gonna get this whole bag of treats because Charlie doesn't like these flavors, apparently. Boo. You had so many treats tonight, buddy. So cute.
So cute.
Moi? I imagine this is emo only, not God music. Wait, what? He's like, yay, a sacrifice! You guys got 10 seconds to get into this game. Flyleaf. Oh, I forgot this is Flyleaf. I have to pee so badly. All right, you guys got 10 seconds to get in here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Exclamation point play. We love you, but Boo needs some loving too. Jasper had so many treats tonight, so you're so good. Hi, Doopy! Oh, you guys got in. Whoa, let's go. Where's my cursor? There she is. Okay. What is happening? Hi, Doopy! What are these, like, smiley faces in the sky? Oh, I don't like that at all, by the way. I don't like that. Oh, this is neat. That was neat. The claw. I really am not excited about. Okay, don't leave me. That's scary. Choopy died. Oh, Oh, someone else died. Panda Pod Spades died. Call Me Rogue died. No. Yes, Raven. We're gonna do one more. Oh, we're gonna do one more marbles after this, and then we'll call it. I am super duper eepy weepy. But if my memory serves, it is 16 minutes until Rare Raven's birthday, because I'm pretty sure she's an hour ahead of me. Cuddle Puddle when? Wait, with marbles or like with my dogs? Because you guys can cuddle with Boo whenever you want. Rooster caca? Oh. Womp womp. Oh, Raven's still alive? It's a birthday miracle. You want Boo? You can have him. Okay, I said that as if I don't like my dog. I love my dog, but he is such a good snuggler. Thank you for stream. Are you kidding me? No, thank you guys. Sorry, there's like something in my eyeball. I'm not crying. I swear I'm not crying. There's just like an eyelash. Oh, Raven! Raven got birthday robbed. Oh, Solange, hello. Oh, shut up, Jasper. No one asked you. Oh, you finished! Excellent. We love a good finish. 7 more months till your birthday? That's okay. Oh, we all just died. Oh, there's the prediction, by the way. Sorry, there's an eyelash on my eyeball, and it's actually, like, hurting me to the point where I'm getting, like, pissed off. It's like when you stub your toe or, like, you're walking past a door and your shirt gets caught in the doorknob. Like, I just want to, like, I want to punch something right now. I want to punch my eyeball. You guys mind? It's so annoying. I'm going to end stream. I'm going to do it. I'm going to end stream. I'm going to throw fit. Okay. Hello, cursor? What? Okay, that was weird. Alright, so 6 people lived. Here's the scoreboard. Prediction. Congratulations, non-believers. 0 to 7 balls lived. We're going to do another prediction. Oh my god. It's going to be the exact same prediction. So you guys have 2 Minotos. Random track. To get your channel points in. This will be our last game, and then we'll call it. Rigged! No. Alright, exclamation point play. Guys, get your balls in here. On your, or your jacket falls to the floor and you fail 4 times to grasp it. Are you trying to trigger me?
Hello?
Also, thank you, Anonymous. Thank you so much for the gifted sub. Enjoy your 90 emotes, your ad-free view, and your sub badge. Call me Rogue. And Anonymous, enjoy your Expedition 33 Twitch badge. Fudge, yeah. Thank you guys so much. I hope you guys are enjoying all of your Twitch badges. Oh, I did post in the Discord 2 more Twitch badges. There's the Invincible Versus one for people who are playing Invincible Versus. That one's live right now. And then coming up next week, Rainbow Six Siege. I know. So I think we'll try Rainbow Six again. So there's another badge. Enjoy, Rogue. So we got 2 more badges. One is available right now, and then the Rainbow Six Siege one starts next week. Shut up, Jasper. Mommy's almost done. Guys, I'm so tired. I cannot wait to go to sleep. I'm gonna walk my dogs, and I'm probably just gonna pass the French toast out. Ooh, see that girl? We got 18 balls. Can we get 2 more people? Can we get 2? Can we go? Do I hear 2? Do I hear 2 more people? Expert play. We got 2 more balls. 2 more balls. Expert play. We're starting to get. We got 10 seconds. We got expert play. Wait, one more ball. Yes! Spades, super impressed that you did that first try. 21 balls! 21! Oh my god. Heck yeah. 22! Oh, you snuck right in. Yeah, I'm gonna try Siege next week. Oh, where's my cursor? Okay, there she is. Because there's a Twitch, I know, right? There's Twitch badges available for Rainbow Six Siege. I posted it in Twitch General is where I'll post the badges. But I do love me some slay little Twitch badges. Okay, Rooster, last time you were in the lead, you died. So let's not, no more choking tonight, okay? I just want to not die this time. Those are some big balls to fill. Oh, Rainbow Six? Hoping it works for me? Is that what you're saying, Bravo? Because I'm hoping so, too. Stop putting it in. What? Sorry, I've had a shot of tequila tonight, alright, guys? I can't be held accountable for what I say. Yeah, I hope so too, Bravo. I'm trying to make more room on my PC so that like hopefully it's like not a memory issue that I'm having. Whoa. Oh, is that the ghost ball? Wait, I'm the leader. I'm the leader. I in the top right. Oh, my DBD creator's in the way. There you go. My top right is oh, sorry. Oh, there we go. So my ghost ball, Pepper Goblin. Oh, I still hold the lead though. Pepper Goblin, you almost took that away from me, but it looks like I won this last round. I don't remember doing this level before. A lot of people are living though. Here, ball fact me, and I'll do it again. What? You're 7 shots in. Wait, Escape, what are you drinking? That's crazy. Mazel tov. Oh, I got top 10. Third, I live. The siege badge is so cute. I don't even remember what it is. I'll have to look in the Discord. I can't remember. I took a screenshot. Oh, fireball. You can keep that. Oh my god, we're all living. Everybody. Wait, is everybody living? Okay, Spades and Leon's. All right. What is going on? Spades was just stuck. Okay. Leon's. Okay, there we go. We just had to add pressure. And then, Leon's moans. Okay. All right. I'm spitting all over my monitor. Oh, okay. R.I.P. to Leon's moans, who was the only person that died. I don't know why that was so funny. But the birthday girl, Raw Raven, did survive, right? Yes, there she is. You have a Torchic. Torchic was my first Pokemon too. GG's. GG's. Oh, prediction. I live, bitch. That was so funny. Thank you guys very much for that. 8+ people lived. It was split almost 50-50. I know, channel points. I have 3.5 minutes to end this stream. Alt F4. Guys, from the bottom of my butt, because it's bigger than my heart, thank you guys so much for being here and hanging out with me and putting up with me. And the follows, the lurkies, the turkeys, the subbies, the wubbies, the titties, the bitties. Thank you guys so much. What the fudgies? I died so others could live. We appreciate your sacrifice. Seriously, thank you guys so much for letting me yap and hang out. No, Shinobi, you're so good. It was really just such a chill stream. Oh, bravo, Becca. Thank you. Oh, humble plug for all my socials. And then don't forget to use code KITTEN all your G Fuel needs. I think the Persona G Fuel is actually almost sold out. And you can use code KITTEN for 30% off. I'm so crashing. I'm so glad that we're ending streams. I'm completely crashing. I'm literally about to sleep before I even walk my dogs. Have the best ever. Jasper, do you want to say goodnight? Oh, he knows I'm about to pick him up. Oh, you little bitch. Come here. I'm going to pick you up. Just know your fate. Know your fate is sealed. And we say bye-bye. Oh, I gotta find someone to raid. Alright, Jasper's gonna go live and we're gonna raid Jasper. Do you guys mind? I'm joking. Oh, let's find someone slutty to raid. Oh, cool. Okay, this person's still streaming. Yippee! We're gonna raid Frostlove. Frostlove is so hot, so tall, so talented, so handsome. She's absolutely lovely. She's doing some DBD 2v8. And you guys are gonna love her so much. If you guys are already following her, you guys will be. So I hope you guys have the best night. Enjoy the rest of your week. And I'll see you guys on Monday for some more shenanigans. And make sure you guys give lots of love to Frost. Give lots of love to yourselves. Remember that if you guys could be anything, be kind. And, yeah, thank you guys so much for everything. Raven, I hope you have the best birthday ever. Tomorrow. And, guys, tell the mods how hot and tall and talented and handsome they are. I'll see you guys on Monday. Bye-bye!
Not so savage.
Stop licking the damn thing.
Always funny! Thank Thank you, Tim, for this magical moment in the best video game ever. By Professor Dunn. Well, so is it French? Oh God, I don't understand. I don't understand.